Hi guys, I'm Swayambika Sachar and everybody knows me as Sway. I'm the IGL and captain of Orangutan female, and I also play the duelist role in this team. I think it would be Japib. Like she cracks the most jokes in the team, according to me. I feel everyone's pretty funny in my team, but so the second most funniest would be Casper. They're like almost equal. Me in Singapore, because of the time difference, usually I'm the first one to arrive at the practice. But yeah, I think everyone sings a lot in this team, so I guess Japip and Casper, even Kachao. Oh yeah, by the way, Kachao sings during clutches, so there's that. I've gotten a team with more like-minded individuals with the same goal, and also who are pretty skilled. Because of the arrival of the LAN tournament, I feel like the girls are more serious and actually have made this like their career this time. So personally, I feel that my focus has increased into the professional gaming thing. I am more interested in making this my career now, as the GC scene has been like flourishing a lot. I've gotten such good opportunities, so I've been definitely lucky this year. That basically happened because like Casper has been going through some health issues. So we wanted someone who was at par and who had the same level of experience and knowledge about the game. And nobody could be a better option than Oreo. So that's why we got her in. Oh, definitely to win the entire thing. That's our expectations, and our goals are always the highest. For myself would be to be in my best form, also to guide the team properly. So basically, I have this ball and I have a few exercises because like I want to keep the health of my hand. It's really important for us gamers who spend so much time on the PC. So what I do is there are a few exercises that my physiotherapist told me. This one and this one, and then there's this ball. This is stress ball, which I squeeze. Really gets the blood flowing and all. And then this is for my wrist strength. I think it would be Jing because I love his personality as well as his gameplay. And I really like the way he talks. Like he's very soft spoken and stuff. And also his witty humor. We treat every team equally, and I feel like since we are gonna go against everyone, they're all our rivals equally. I think diverse, since we're like from 3 different countries, 4 actually, with the addition of Oreo, dedicated. I really want to improve myself to a level where I'm not only just a good game changers player, I'm also a good player in general. So that's how much I want to improve myself, keeping my health in check, watching words, doing my routines and everything. I go to the gym. I love walking, love playing badminton. I also love playing chess. Most of my day is just Valorant, so yeah. I think our region right now is still doing really good, and we've actually gathered a lot of attention from the other regions towards our region because of the players and all the skill that the players possess. I feel that we are constantly evolving. Even though it's one slot this year, we will prove ourselves and we will have more slots maybe the next year. It's always good to be content with what you have, and let's hope we get more in the future by proving ourselves. I want to say that no matter what team qualifies for Berlin, I really hope we give our best and we prove ourselves, like our region APAC, leave a print on the world map. That's what I would like to say.
We back again, we back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again, we back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again, we back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again, we back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again. We back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again. We back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again. We back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again. We back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again. We back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again. We back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again. We back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends.
Welcome back. You're watching VCT Game Changers APAC Elite, and you have me, Mika Fabs, joined by Marky on our virtual panel desk. And right now, we are going to head into our final series of the day, which is going to be Orangutan versus Bren Victress. First off, I gotta start by commending the Bren ladies with their earlier match. This is one of the most aggressive teams, and we saw exactly why in that match. A 2-0 versus Rising Hope, and now it's their Hope rising to grab a spot on our top 4. But now, Kia, there is a big, scary primate standing in their way.
Yeah, so actually I want to point out there's so many Filipino players in this tournament and in the lower bracket. Today we're seeing them all. Orangutan, Bren, Zol, Meraki, and even Rising Hope. It was all a lot of Filipino talent really showing up here. Of course, Orangutan is a bit more of a mixed team, but Bren, Zol, and Rising Hope all pretty much fully Filipino teams, and it's just such a sight to behold. Between Bren and Orangutan, also really exciting to watch because these two teams are going to be absolutely amazing. Without further ado, of course, we'll be introducing Bren and Orangutan.
am really excited for this matchup, Key, because we just saw how much firepower both Orangutan and then Bren Victress have, and it's gonna be really exciting to see all of these matchups, all of these head-to-heads, and all of this firepower coming into this one series.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult one, and between these two teams, it's really for the whole day. Actually, it's such a travesty that we're seeing so many teams eliminated today. And between Bren and Orangutan, Orangutan is one of those teams as well that has been here in the middle of the circuit. They've reassembled. They found their way. They found a team, and they're really hitting their stride now. And I think it was Sway that was saying that she's been able to find other like-minded individuals to join her and really squad up. And you could tell. I mean, if you're following their Twitter, they're all just like joking around, like trolling each other. Actually, I think that the whole circuit, actually, the whole scene, they're quite wholesome. Everyone's just commenting on each other's posts and everything. It's just such a sight to behold. So these two teams are definitely friends as well, because some of them have been ex-teammates as well. Jipips and Kachao, they know the Bren girls very, very, very closely. It's very familiar for them as well. And really seeing the head-to-head here will be a testament to whether Bren are still strong, like they've shown the whole circuit long, or whether Orangutan have finally found a way to get even better and transcend that ceiling that they've been having this whole time.
Exactly. And then, as you mentioned, this whole scene is very wholesome, and it's kind of like, all of these ladies really just pushing each other to the limit, because that's where all of them, everybody, the whole scene is going. Right now, we're seeing our player head to head, Zinni versus Casper. And earlier, we did see Bren Victress play, and we know that Zinni is just an amazing controller. In their map, in their Facebook in Breeze, using utility to control the site, but also she doesn't need utility because she's an excellent fragger.
Yeah, it's just they're just all of them are actually so good. But you're right, like you don't need the utility sometimes, especially if your fundamentals are great. And we're starting to see an increase of that. There used to be very, very few players that you would like be able to count maybe in two hands, like players that will consistently give you multi kills over and over again last year. And I think that this year that's completely changed because the players have all gotten better. Like it's not just Eneri and Kohibi anymore in the top two. There's so many players that are challenging that. We're seeing that in Alexi, we're seeing that in Zinni, we're seeing that in so many players showing up. Capricious can hold off on her own as well. It's just everyone is getting better, and who is the best in this circuit right now, that's the one that remains to be seen, and that's what we need to find out. And right now, this is a battle for 4th place again, a battle to be in the top 4, not 4th place, but top 4 between
don't
Bren
jinx
Victress
it.
and
No,
Orangutan.
don't reveal the script. Don't reveal the script, okay? But yes, we are going into our maps right now. It's gonna be Bren picking out Haven, Orangutan picking Ascent, and our decider gonna be Icebox. I would say that Orangutan maybe are like, a little bit happy with this, but just because Ascent and Icebox do happen to be two of their best maps. And Bren, of course, as well on Haven, being that being their map pick. I'm thinking though, with the amount of firepower that we saw from Bren earlier, though, Tash and Donut earlier called them the lawnmower strategy. Just go for it.
Yes.
And just how they played so aggressively and almost fearless plays. You saw how Twirly would just dive into the side, just without abandon, and just really create all of that space for the team. And on the other side, Orangutan, they are a very momentum-based team because they have Sway as their IGL, and Sway is their duelist as well, which means that, once Sway goes in, the rest of the team has to keep up with her pace.
Yeah, it's really a big difference between the two teams. But what I also wanted to point out was Bren were the queens of Split. Like, the whole year, Split was one of their map
Press
picks.
F,
You couldn't
rest
ban
in
both
peace.
Split. You couldn't ban both Split and Ascent from them. And because of that, they used to be able to get away with either one of their map picks. And because of that, now the map picks are completely different. Now they have to go for Haven. Now they have to go for maps that possibly weren't their best or aren't their best because they don't have that two strong map picks anymore. There's also a change with Mikasi not being in the roster anymore. Twirly has to be in that starting roster. So while it's not completely different because they were running a 6-person roster, it removes one element from Bren Victress, which was the adaptability or being able to sub a player in, and I think that makes a difference actually.
Mm-hmm. I think so as well. And right now, going into our Asian select, we're seeing Sway ever sticking with the Neon, favorite of hers. So we're definitely gonna expect her to be leading the charge on the side of Orangutan, though. I am very excited to see Twirly back on the Jet as she was earlier, just because she was almost an artist, I feel like, on the Jet, from the series against Rising Hope earlier. And, Shirazi was also another player that I definitely had my eyes on, playing the Chamber earlier, but definitely so sharp and so precise with her shots. So I feel like if Bren can keep up what they had earlier today, then I think they're good. But Orangutan, again, coming in very, very fresh. So we're gonna see who takes this final series of the day here at VCT Game Changers APAC Elite. Let's throw it up over to our casters.
Thank you so much, Mika, for that breakdown along with Key. You are right about this, and this is going to be, I think, one of the most close series that we've seen. And we've seen a lot of them over the course of the day, right, Quack?
Definitely a lot. The previous one was so close, but it is what it is. Zolmaraki, incredible job. Here we are, though. It's going to be Orangutan versus Bren, and kind of like the panel mentioned, it's going to be these comfort picks, these compositions that they've gone for, and we're gonna have to see how the different duelists kind of duke it out against each other.
Definitely, but aside from the duelists, like of course, both the players have proven themselves, Twirly as well as Sway. What I'm interested in for Orangutan is that they haven't unveiled the sixth member of their roster quite yet. Is she going to be their secret weapon heading into the next couple of matches? Because Oreo, she hasn't made her debut. Yeah, it is going to be Casper, and of course, not that Casper is anything to scoff at. In fact, I would say that hands down, she is one of Orangutan's most strong players on that controller role, always in those clutch situations, and she is always willing to show up huge there.
She really, really is, and that's something sometimes that you really need coming into such a game as well. But you know what? We're starting out on Haven. Bren on the defense, but they're pushing out mid.
Ooh, a little bit of aggression being shown right off the bat. Not finding anything though, so they are going to be falling back a little bit. As for Orangutan though, they are fishing, for lack of a better word. It is going to be off the back of that paranoia, a possible push coming in, but nothing really. Yeah, never mind. They do catch sight of the player, but that paranoia is going to be used, and that's going to be one less key piece of utility available for this retake. Twirly, though, like you mentioned, already having pushed out towards this window. Because the push is going to be coming towards this A site here.
They just crept up, and now they get this plant spike with the shock dart. What? It actually kills Ka-Chow just because she could hear where it was being planted. Even taking a shot through the smoke. Bren, how are they doing this?
Still kills both through the smoke down though, but the push from CT is going to be stopped in its tracks for a second at least. Casper and Juppy was able to really get those frags, but that pull only lasts for so long, and off the back of that, I think the flame kicks in as well to make things worse. And Bren, they managed to get the site, but that was just lovely. They really put their research in, because Orangutan, they like to go in for this particular spot, and it seems like Ali was aware of that. Goes for those shock darts. It's a good reward that she got for that investment. Doesn't take the planter down, but nevertheless, that is going to be one less player for Orangutan, and off the back of that, they win that pistol. Despite getting the plants, no force spike coming in for the side of Orangutan. Only two what are those called again? Frenzies left to work with though. Yeah, but aside from that, things are looking a little bit rough on this particular anti-eco right now for them. Right off the bat though, they're going to be possibly running it down towards mid.
Wow. But still, Bren are prepared for this. Look at how they're peeking in and out of cover just to duel against the OG players. Chloe, though, able to take out one, but she's low HP as well. Twirly able to dash in towards her. A bit of a collateral, kind of, with the frenzy, not quite. Still just the better guns that win in this death matchup around. And just, sometimes you gotta check to see if your crouch key works. And yeah, good. All right, it's working.
I mean, I don't blame her. Ka-Chow had every single chance to get that kill, but just not able to connect the classic shots. And just like that, Bren managed to find two. OG do manage to take down two players with those frenzies, so that is at least something to that goes in their favor over the course of this bonus round. Bren not really opting to buy in for that additional firepower, so it is going to be a pure bonus coming in. Orangutan with the full buy this time around, looking for that C come in, but again the quick push coming in from Twirly. Jumpy's playing in this close angle though, will find one, but the trade is quick and the spike is going to be dropped as well. Casper spraying through the smoke, trying to get the pick onto Zini, who is so low, and they do manage to do that. Alexi though catching Sway on the lurk, and again things are back down to a 3v3 here. Ali on the push as well from A. We'll hear the player running towards her, and this fight, it's going to decide possibly the course of the round. Checks the corner and does manage to get the kill. I like that, because I was like, wait a minute, that's a player, and does get the headshot just like that. Orangutan, they do have A side except for Alexi here. Oh no, 2v2 now.
Well, the imposter was found, and now onto the site we go. 2-on-2. How do they approach this? They could go in for that split approach, one from long, one from short, but if they peek in together, that could give them a numbers advantage, dueling out against the OGT players as well. That's what they're opting for, at the very least, with a little bit of support from the Concuss. And that leaves Chloe all alone, isolated, and dealt with.
A lovely thrifty, or not thrifty, but more of a bonus coming in for the side of Bren. You know, that first 1-for-1, 2-for-2 trade was lovely, but what really clutched them around, I think, was, you know, being able to find Sway on the lurk there towards mid. That was a rifle that was picked up and just going huge there. Look at this, Alexi gets that gun towards the end, and that 2v2 retake as well. The fact that the fact that the trigger discipline from Alexi was there towards sewers, gets that pick, waits for her teammate to regroup, and does manage to convert the round. It leaves the players from the side of OG in a little bit of confusion as to where the retake is going to be coming from. They weren't ready for that at all. And just like that, Bren, they convert the bonus and find 3.
And that is such a big win as well, because OGT just cannot do anything this round at all. They've got some sheriffs, they got the Spectre, one Marshal to kind of mark down C-Long, I guess. I mean, it is Sway after all, but still. On paper, this should be Bren's round to win, but if you got Chloe just peeking into garage that way, crouching and then taking off Twirly's head, just one head off the Hydra, you just might be able to win this round, but Shirazi answers back.
4v4 right now, and this upgrade, I think Chloe is just waiting to see if anyone else is going to try and push forward to prevent her from taking it. There is that Phantom available for the taking, but right now Orangutan, they're playing it patiently here. They want to try and get perhaps one more pick before they try to commit towards the side. Casper trying to trade out, Sway does spot out Shirazi yet again, but Shirazi is still going to be able to hold strong here. That recons are not really catching anything either, but Jameez does with a shot. Zini's position on this logs, the 1 HP left to her name, TP's away, stays alive, and Casper with the sheriff is able to connect the shot. Yeah, in the meantime, towards Garage, Chloe's patience pays off as she gets that pick. It's all down to just Alexi here, who gets spotted out by that turret to boot. So that's going to be some information that Orangutan have, that the push is coming in from Garage, possibly the smoke being invested by Casper off the back of that. Ali now in this 1v2. The crossfire between these players can prove to be devastating here. We'll hear the spike, we'll hear the dart being broken from sight here, but does not know where the other player is. And Ali, the clock is ticking, gets the first kill onto Casper, but 33 HP left on her. The shot dart being invested towards the spike of all things. Interesting tactic there. Chloe though with the Spectre is going to go huge, getting 3 on the round, and what an eco that was for OG.
Definitely a very smart way for OG to approach the round, but it's also towards the end of that, having Chloe to just wrap around the back of sight. See, the thing about that crossfire is if you're too close to the box, you're going to get spotted out first, and that's something that Ali used to her advantage, finding Casper in the duel. So what Chloe does instead is to just go back around, making use of that time, that chaos, while Ali was distracted. Now, next round though, we are bought back fully.
Sway already taking a lot of space down towards the short area. Ali will hear the commotion down there and is trying to jiggle this corner, trying to take this 1v1, but you know, with Twirly being on top as well with that Blade Storm, will be allowed to fall off that angle and go for that long control instead. Right now, Orangutan, they look like they do want to commit towards this A site here, while 2 of their players mark for a mid push. However, though, this particular time, Bren is not going to be getting aggressive. They're just going to be waiting for Orangutan to walk into whichever site they choose to commit to, which again does seem to be A here. Sway walking up. They're gonna cross each other. Oh, It is
Oh,
going to do.
wow.
I thought the Blade Storm was going to miss, I'll be honest, but Twirly manages to get the last shot and picks up that upgrade as well. And Orangutan, just like that, they're going to be down one player, and that too, it's going to be Sway, who's been instrumental in leading the charge as their Neon so far.
So you have one avenue eventually blocked off. You hear that chamber somewhere around as well.
Oh, no.
You don't really know where else to go. C probably not the best option any longer. They continue to push into garage though, just because the Nebula blocks off Shirazi, and that just might give them the sight. But take a look at how Zinni's anchoring this down. The paranoia sent through. Shirazi continues to get yet another, and then the support from Logs. All that's left is going to be Japips, and she's down to 50 HP. The spike gone. 10 seconds left,
Oh,
and
no.
not before Shirazi just swings into it. A clean headshot. No problem.
Today the Chamber Headhunter has just been going bonkers across every single map so far. These players are in it to play, and Shirazi, like you mentioned, going huge. 2 with the Tour de Force, 1 with the Headhunter, and just that hold by Zini, I believe, on the side. That paranoia buying so much time for the rotation from Shirazi to come over and back her up. Bren are taking the lead slowly but surely, and yet again it's going to be an eco run coming in for Orangutan, but they do have 4 ultimates to work with here, Quack. That might be what they need to close out this Thrifty again.
Not quite sure if they can actually make it work though. Going in towards garage this way. Previously they did it on the A side, but now similar play to what we just saw. One difference being that Zinni is playing so far back. They know that there are 4 ultimates. They are throwing caution not to the wind, but they're being very aware of it. So possibly setting up for a retake instead is Bren Esports.
The jump peek from Zini is going to spot out Sway with the Marshall, who's still willing to aggress here. So again, I like how Zini puts down the smoke so she can play onto side. 4 players from Orangutan right now are going to be on there already, but Twirly is going to be the one to find the first blood within all of these smokes. The confusion is real, but still Bren are coming out on top here. The most awkward spray ever, but it's okay. The classic comes out and she still finds value. It's all up to Chloe, who's trying to find more than just the one that she already got. But this time around, she's not going to be allowed as Bren take a dominating lead here, 5-1. And if there ever was a time to call a timeout, Quack, this is it for OG.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But you can see that they are thinking about it. They are saving up these ultimates for a more valuable round, perhaps. I mean, this one could be something that breaks their bank one more time. So call out, there it is, being called. Gunner, the coach, probably discussing some way to make use of their ultimates because they got 4 of them, Zach.
Almost 5, in fact. Sway is only 1 away from
you're
that
right.
overdrive. Yeah, so this could be a round that Orangutan can completely win off the back of their ults if they decide to. But on the opposite side, it is going to be Shirazi investing in that operator right now. We saw how devastating she could be with that Tour de Force, and this is going to just throw another spanner in the works, possibly in the plans of Orangutan if they're not careful about it. However, though, you know, talking about how Bren are playing this, it's just really quick rotations coming in from the players as soon as, because they know Orangutan is a team that likes to go in for all or nothing. They're not like, for example, like Alter Ego, who like to rotate around really quickly. They like to commit, they like to wait it out and recommit if the hit doesn't go their way for the first time. So off the back of that, they're not afraid to rotate. And of course, just these quick trades coming in particular, Shirazi and Zinni being able to lock down that A side. Ali as well, along with Turley on that A side. I'm sorry, Zinni and Shirazi are on the T side, my bad. But both of these players, these 2 duos, are just able to hold these sides and not let them go very easily.
Yeah, it's just that anchor potential, but of course, Bren now trying different things. You can see that Alexi's trying to get a little bit adventurous towards middle, towards grass. OGT with the early round aggression towards A long, making their presence known, possibly calling out some rotations as well. But Bren are not biting into anything. They're just peeking out. They see that there's nothing middle. So again, both sides just pushing and pulling at each other.
Yeah, the tension is real right now. The OG players have regrouped towards mid, perhaps gearing up for either a B or a garage push here. And the first obstacle in their path is either going to be Alexi or Zinni. Zinni in particular, is going to be the first point of contact. Does put down a smoke, but the push still comes through. The Hunter's Fury off the back of that being invested. Does hit Sway already, gets the pick as well. Kachal was able to trade out though, and we're back to a 4v4 retake right now. They are going to try and take some garage control possibly, and Alexi is lying in wait for that exact possibility if they decide to go over. Chloe does also have her nano swarms on the spike, so that's going to make it even more difficult to defuse. Alexi popping that, does pop that aftershock, but the flash comes through too late from Kachao, and just like that, Ali is able to find two before Casper finally shuts it down. Ali able to defuse half the spike. Casper is still alive, but Casper still being able to close things out. It's going to come down to a 1v1 at the spike. Has been defused here. Shirazi, but the operator peeks out, gets the shot, and the defuse will come through in time for Bren, but that round was so close. Casper in particular towards the end being able to find those kills and bringing it back down to a 1v1. What a round from Orangutan, who still, by the way, have almost all of their ults.
They hold all the cards. And speaking of cards, Zach, grab a hole puncher, put the card in, and if you're Shirazi, you hold the operator and you punch it just at the right time, just to get that defuse as well. I can't believe how far Bren Victress has thought about these rounds. You could see that so much of it is preemptive thinking because they set themselves in these positions where, all right, if OGT goes towards B, we're prepared for this. They have that smoke out towards middle as well. Right now, it's going to be the hit towards A though, and it's going to be a fast one.
A little bit of a team clash there, but nevertheless, Sway is able to make contact with that overdrive, doing so much damage right now to, I believe it was Shirazi. Yeah, she takes a lot of damage, 24 HP left on her, and we're looking at a full 5-on-5 retake. Twirly in heaven does spot out a player moving to a short, but is not quite able to connect the shot. They do have the Rolling Thunder to try and go for the retake, and perhaps that's why Orangutan are not really playing on site. 3 players towards long as well. That is going to be the breach out invested. The counter from Orangutan as well, but Twirly's shots are just getting better right now. This retake is brutal coming in. The recon spotting out Sway as well, and these last 3 players from the side of Bren are going to be able to find both these picks, and the retake is beautiful coming in. They have enough time to defuse as well, holding on to the operator, and everything is going in favor of Bren right now. 7-1. What an intimidating lead they're building up here, Clark.
It's really that much forward thinking. Again, I mean, I know Sway in her interview, she said that she loves playing chess, but Bren are playing the heck out of chess right now in this round of Valorant, because the way that they're approaching this, it's as if they knew. They hear that sound of the high gear and the overdrive coming in from Sway, different ultimates and different pieces of utility to give OGT control over A site. And all Bren really want to do is, all right, let's wait out her ultimate. Once it's gone, then we go in. We have the guns, they don't. Let's just take the duel to them once they run out of time, and that's really how they win out of these rounds. And again, they're catching them off guard. What is this push out of garage?
I think Orangutan are asking the same question, but Sway towards the other side of the map is able to find one of her own, so things are going to come back down to a 4v4, and off the back of that, they have the A side as well,
Chloe.
so Spike might come down, but Chloe on the flank, flanking the flanker, perhaps getting one, but turns away at the wrong time, still able to get the second, does still have that lockdown available, and Sway having picked up the op, we've seen her on that particular weapon before, how dangerous she can be. Orangutan finally finding things out, and Ali, just one unfortunate piece of utility away from her device, does toss and shotgun somehow, but it's so close right now. Oh my god, poor Ali, she just can't afford to peek at all considering the HP. In fact, one of these bullets, a stray bullet hits her, it's going to be it for the round. And I think Orangutan will be able to get their second. Ali gets taken down as well, just keeps just holding that window angle, and just like that, Bren, they did finally manage to lose one, but you know, you gotta talk about Sway there, right? The fact that she was able to get that first pick, push onto that A side, the fact that she was able to make the call that, okay, it does seem like there is gonna be a lot of mid persons coming in from Bren there. There's probably more than one, so we can just try to take a site and hold on to it, and her being able to get Shirazi despite having the operator is huge. A beautiful run from Orangutan.
I concur. She's such a unique player. Playing the duelist, playing the neon, but it's not just these plays as well. She goes in with an operator Usually you would see it on a Jet or something, but she does it on Neon, and it works so well with the mid-round calls. They make the right reads if they see Bren pushing on another part of the map. This time around, though, Bren not so aggressive, right? They're just holding forward positions, maybe some off angles here and there. They're afraid of this Cosmic Divide, and they are rightfully scared because of this push that goes through. Supported by Kachao, now ZD trapped inside of the corner. She's going to look for a couple more hits. Even sees the jump peek, gets the second, gets the third. A triple kill in the round, leaves cold and alone, all inside this nebula. Space is something that you do not have. All she can do is to try to find some kind of an angle, some kind of a peek, but not before Casper sits its lights out.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Shirazi there, like just surrounded on all sides by Orangutan, who are finally waking up. It seems like, you know, this is a team that is known for their comebacks. Quack. I believe that I think everybody at this point who has been watching VCT Game Changers APAC for a while will remember their Ascent game from 1-11 to overtime and winning it. And I think on Haven, this does seem to be a sign of the same, and of course Bren are going to be calling a timeout off the back of that because their economy is in a little bit of a rough position. They are going to be able to buy up on this particular round, but if they're not careful, they're going to be pushed into an eco on the next if they lose this one. So I think they just want to make sure that they have their plans ready to go. They do still have a massive lead, but you know, a 7-3 looks good. A 7-5, not so much.
Yeah, and that's why they want to hold on to this lead as much as they can, calling the timeout just to put an end to OGT's momentum. That said, though, you can really see that what OGT's players are trying to do is to get a read on how Bren are positioning themselves. If there's a push from one part of the map, be it C or Garage, the call is going to be hit A. If, however, Bren does not push that much, OGT knows, all right, they're playing passive. Let's go active. Let's push out. Let's be incredibly fast about this. So much so that Bren have no choice but to play catch up, and that's exactly what we saw just happen inside of Garage.
Yeah, the convergence was real there, and they're pretty close to Kachao's ult again this time around. So perhaps a Rolling Thunder might play this particular round. Yet again, a quick execute from Orangutan coming onto the C side, who they have figured out that Bren like to lead at least one of their sides for retake, and Sway is picking the right one every single time. That lockdown going to be invested by Chloe as well to get some additional time here. The spray through the smoke from the side of the Bren players not really connecting. But the flank from Swirly does spot out one. Can she get more? Yes, she does. God. Gets two for her trouble. Still aggressing with the help of the dash. But it's going to be Chloe who gets one. The flash manages to dodge it and gets a second as well. Just like that. It's all done with two remaining players for Bren. Make that not as Pachao finds two. Like I said, she has the Rolling Thunder, but that's going to be there for an extra. She doesn't need it for this time around. All she does need is that Vandal. And a lovely round coming in from Orangutan yet again. Pachao and Chloe both going huge. In fact, Chloe getting two there was probably the clincher on the round for them.
Couldn't agree more. This is, if you're Southeast Asian, you know what this is. It's the Kue Lapis, the multi-layered cake, but it's also the multi-layered defense coming in from OGT, right? They go in so fast, like you mentioned before, Zach. A great call by Sway just to hit the C site, and then you got three players plus Chloe, the last one, watching Dragon. But right now, similar call being made, and Bren are adapting to it. Shirazi off the top of the box, able to take out one player, and then Zini with the sight line smoke. It blocks out so much that OGT aren't quite sure if they should even commit towards this one site.
Yeah, so he's gonna be falling back. Does hold the angle for a while with the Vandal, but once that dark cover comes down, she really doesn't want to risk being accidented by the smoke. We've seen too many of those smoke criminal kills today. And in the meantime, though, look at Turley's position. She's managed to push all the way up towards window. Any kind of rotation is going to be caught out here if they make any sound. It does seem like they are going to be regrouping towards the A side, but never mind. Jumpy goes in for a peek towards mid, but unfortunately these two ultimates are making the round work for Bren right now. Both the Tour de Force as well as the Bladestorm finding so much value. It's all down to just Casper and Japip's, down to Casper and Chloe now in this 2v5, no ultimates to work with, and all they really have right now is garage control.
No, it's all not that much either.
30 seconds left.
The star being recalled, the shot being fired, and now the positions have been revealed. They know where it is. They even send the Rolling Thunder. Chloe, no. She still has a shot. Oh, gets only one, flicks over onto the other side, and then Ali just snuffs her out. So 8-4 at the end of the first half, Zach.
I mean, it's not bad. 8-4 is pretty good, all things considered, because you know, Orangutan, they were on defense there. Sorry, they were on attack there, and I think that for them in particular on this particular map, I think their defense is just a little bit stronger in my opinion. They're able to like really string those rounds together. At least statistically, that might not be the story but from what I've observed in a lot of their matches, they can do it. But you know, let's have the host break that down for us.
And break it down we will. Thank you very much for that, for the Zack and Quack attack. I think that's what we've nicknamed them so far. But Key, Bren here on a roll. I mean, their plays are pretty high risk, high reward, but it seems to be like they're reaping all of the rewards.
Yeah, they're reaping all the rewards on the attack side of the map nonetheless, and I think that this is the first time in, I guess, today that it feels like the script is making sense, because like we were saying on paper, I didn't want to say it for this series, but on paper Bren is the better team because of their achievements throughout the tournament, and Orangutan is of course the rising team, and we can see the difference there. But this is, I believe, Bren's pick after all, so this is going to be, I mean, it should go this way, right? That's what the script says, and so far that's what the script has been following. But of course we know that the script isn't a hard script. Like, you know, sometimes the actors just want to do improv, and we don't follow the script all the time. We don't follow the script most of the time, in fact. And I think that Orangutan, you can't count them out just yet. They have talented players. You can see that in the 4 rounds that they won, they were able to pull something out, a rabbit out of the hat. And for Bren to continue this, it's really a matter of consistency, whether they can still do that on the attacking side, or whether Orangutan will start figuring things out, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah, I do want to point out as well that you know, Orangutan did put up a fight against Alter Ego yesterday, and that is no small feat to be able to bring the score that close to what is currently our favorite team to take the trophy home. However, it seems like they need to know how to redirect the momentum, because they are against that very momentum-based team, because Sway is their IGL. Once a roadblock comes up, because it seems like once that block comes up, they have a little bit of a struggle knowing which way to go.
Yeah, I think it's basically the mid-round annotations, like you mentioned. It's a matter of being able to switch directions, and I think that's not what we're seeing from Orangutan, right? They're quite, in their attacks, they're quite one-dimensional. They can't really adapt. We've seen other teams do that, like, oh, our duelist died, immediately switch to B side. We've already pulled our rotations. We're gonna have to see more of that from Orangutan on this defensive side.
Yeah. Well, you heard the director, guys. So it's okay. You don't have to stick to the script if you don't want to. Let's make Direct Key happy over here. Okay, lights, camera, action. We'll throw it back to the casters.
We heard it from Mika. Let's have some improv right here. Why don't we, Zach?
I mean, yeah, there's no script anymore. I think that last map, I think the last thing we saw from SFG, the game that we saw, threw it out of the window, and honestly, it could be the same here. It is going to be the experienced contender, experienced person versus the new contenders on the scene, the new kids on the block, and despite them being at a little bit of a score deficit, this is their chance for them to really make a comeback here. It all starts with this particular pistol here. Already Sway getting a little bit aggressive, will be able to clear out a lobby, but Chloe, the hold in this garage area is huge right now, gets 2 of her own, but Alexi is quick to strike back, and right off the back of those 2 kills, it is going to be the C side open right now. The spike will go down, and again, the plant is for CT. They're aware that Orangutan like to come in for these flanks here, and they're going to be taking CT control. If they can pick off Japeeves, that will be what they need to completely convert this round here.
Yeah, I mean, look at what Alexi's doing right now, positioning in such a weird spot towards defender spawn. Japips might not be aware of this, and certainly they aren't. It allows for Alexi to get 1 more frag, and not to mention just distracting OGT by so much. They're not quite sure where to look anymore, so they just push out of garage and in towards 3 crosshairs all onto them. And Alexi getting the 4th frag in the round. She is now 3 points away from her Rolling Thunder after 1 round. What?
what is a great reaction. You know, I honestly thought Orangutan had this lockdown. Chloe, though, unfortunately runs out of bullets despite hitting the dink onto the third player as well. And the fact that Alexi was able to trade both of these kills. Casper not quite finding the timing there on the peak, unfortunately. And off the back of that, that CT push was inspired. I think Ali is the ideal for Bren, and that was a really smart call because, like you mentioned, that positioning, that crossfire, being able to just catch these players from Orangutan off guard is huge right now. Heading into this anti-eco, though, it is going to be Sway, who's not afraid to get a little bit aggressive, a little bit in your faces, followed by two of her teammates here. Will be spotted out, though, so Bren know that the flank is coming in. I don't know how many, and off the back of that, they're going to be just taking side control. Yet again, a two-player push into the spawn here. Ali is farming right now. The movement is insane. I thought she was genuinely going to be able to get Chloe as well to top things off. But it is Chloe desperately trying to make this round as expensive as possible for the side of Orangutan. The turret finding a third. Okay, Chloe. Two players left right now for the side of Bren, and they're still going to be going forward. Shirazi finally says that's enough from you, Chloe. Please stop it right now. And they get to 10. But what a showing from Chloe there, Clap.
The third one being a turret kill, so it's just like it's icing on the cake. But you know what? It's such a smart call from their IGL, Bren Victress' IGL, Alexi, to just head towards the A site. They heard those footsteps, they knew what was going on, and they probably sussed out that A is not so well fortified. We can take this site. And they also leave Ali on the lurk. I think that was one of the key key factors into Bren winning that round so well. Just not expecting Chloe to do such things, and this time it's going to be Kachao peeking out of mid with some early round aggression to delete the first player, Twirly.
Yeah, first pick does go in favor of Orangutan, making that full buy really work. But, you know, on these, you know, thrifty bonus rounds, you do tend to see a lot of pressure being put towards B because you can really get those close range fights in a court here. I also like this positioning from Jippy. She's not really playing up too close in garage. Perhaps a little bit too much trauma playing behind those doors angle. But Shirazi spots out one player, gets the headshot, and is able to rendezvous away. Dirty work coming in from Bren there as they regroup right now. Having gotten that first pick, their options are ever more open, but C seems like where they want to go, and it is still going to be Casper, one of the most dangerous players for the side of Orangutan, joined by her trusty sidekick.
Oh, this is a lot of info though. Look at the minimap. Sway has pushed out so much. They know the hit's definitely coming towards C. It comes down to the corner though, but it gets checked by Shirazi, and then Alexi takes out Logs. Chloe pushes past the smoke. She wants to make it fast. She goes along with Sway. This must be a call from Sway the IGL. They do not leave a single moment for Bren to recollect themselves. Ali still, though, not affected by this at all. She doesn't care. She's not dazed. She sends the shock dart. It bounces. It doesn't matter because she still swings out with the Spectre and gets the headshot onto Sway to clutch this out.
That round was exactly. It was beautiful coming in from both of these teams, and especially Shirazi particularly. She looks at it, looks away, and she's like, wait a minute, that's a player. Hits the headshot as well. But this retake push, we've seen it before in the last map coming in from the side of Zol, and it's the same from Orangutan as well. They tried to go in for the retake, and they almost managed it. It's just that they were quite tagged up by then. Ali was able to capitalize, even with that Spectre, getting both those picks. The crossfire not exactly backlit from Orangutan there. Off the back of that, though, it is going to be an eco at this juncture. Not really much in the tank. No ultimates either for OG to work with. They just get the C-side for free because it was a little bit of an A stack coming in, and yet again, the flank is in. Yeah, exactly. It is coming in, but oh no, the chamber is going to be caught off guard there.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All's good. All's good. Orangutan finding one, but the timer is on, and they have 40 seconds to make this retake go for it.
And then they go back into it. I don't think they can actually go for the full retake though, unless they are able to outduel these players, and they will be able to with the help of Kachao's fault line, leaving two players alone on the C side. But again, at this point, I think it's about 20 seconds left now. Still pressing W, still going forward. They work together as a team to clear out the back of the site, but Twirly, what a peek! Strafe shooting it, she gets 2 quick kills, and then ZD. Like you mentioned before, it's dirty work, but someone's got to do it. The sanitation crew is here to clean up and to bring Bren Victress to match point.
Orangutan did take the decision to go for an eco there, so they are going to be able to buy back into this one. They want to play for the overtime, and I mean, they've demonstrated time and time again that they are capable of making that grueling comeback from match point there, and they almost had this round too. I hate it when the spike is planted there because it's open to so many areas, CT, garage, and they just didn't know where to look. Turley playing them like a fiddle from that position she was in. Yeah, Bren gets a match point, and they're looking to close it out here. Already going in for a little bit of an aggressive peek towards mid, doing quite a bit of chip damage in fact to Sway, who is going to be brought down to 65 HP. No picks coming in for either team, but Twirly is looking to get aggressive, looking to capitalize on the position. A little bit of a default from the side of Bren, with the Omen lurking towards that A side, but as for the rest of them, it seems like they want to hit this B side right now.
Well, hovering around it to say the least, but the question is,
Oh, no.
does OGT read this? They don't, not quite yet for the time being at least. Now losing their IGL, it's going to make it that much more difficult to come back into the round. But look at how quick Torley dances in towards the site. She even sprays through just to clear out a possible corner. This pushes OGT so far back now that the spike gets planted so quickly. Kachao, though, not letting up, not letting go. The aftershock, she gets 3 quick kills. And she's hunting for more too. Knows where Shirazi is. Goes in and gets the Quadra. And all that's left is going to be Zinni. Where is she? It's going to be a Link. Her teammates are aware of it. She sprays through. The Nebula popped out by Casper as well, just for added measure. And the ace to bring OGT back to life. 12-5.
First ace of today, I believe, Quack, and what an ace it was to boot. A beautiful round coming in from Kachao. They're getting one from the aftershock as well as she pops it onto the planter, and just again making this round work so well for OG, despite Bren being able to get that first pick as well as the plant. The retake is really good coming in from them, and off the back of that, they do have, I think, a couple of ults to work with on this next round. They need to win 7 in a row to get this map to overtime, but if they can pull off more rounds like that, I think it's definitely a possibility. Heading into this one, though, it is, yeah, yet again, Sway getting a little bit aggressive, but Shirazi is going to be waiting with the headhunter, not going to be able to find much impact, though, unfortunately, and Sway is still moving forward, and right now, these Bren players, they're going to be caught between Sway and the remaining reminder of Orangutan. Those Chloe going down is going to make things very difficult right now.
Oh, no. Well, Sway's been eliminated, though, and this is going to be up to the rest of the squad to finish the job now. Rolling Thunder even sent out just to prevent them from getting spike planted, but no! Sprays through Zinni, Twirly with the right clicks as well. Kachao, it's all onto her shoulders. This first map basically gone, and she can't do much about it. This smoke lasts for maybe, what, 5-7 more seconds? She pushes past it using the flash point, but no, all the angles, all the positions, it's all against and onto her. That, wow, look at it. It's like, all right, no problem, no sweat. Oh my god, so adorable.
Yeah, I think that's one of the cutest celebrations I've seen. You know, every time a team does win one of these matches, just the post-match celebration, it absolutely gives me life there, because it's gorgeous. But, you know, talking about this map, that was well-deserved by Bren. They win it, and they win it in such a dominating fashion. You know, Orangutan, they played Haven yesterday against Alter Ego, arguably the best team in APAC, and they made it close. They made it 13-10, but today, they just don't look the same, because Bren, they've done their research, and they're here to play.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, watching them against Rising Hope, I was like, wow, they look a little bit shaky, but this, and look at how happy they are. You can't help but admire them. But you know what, I'm gonna throw it to our panel to break down what just happened on this map. Marquis and Mika, take it away.
Thanks so much, Zach and Quack. And that is one on the side of Bren, Victress versus Orangutan. Now I have to say, Key, Bren looking very, very confident. Confident enough to even powder a little bit more blush on their cheeks as they celebrate this win.
You know, I was trying to break that down. I wasn't sure what that was. I think she was doing this. I thought she was like reading them like a book. I'm not sure if that
reading
was
them
what
like
she
a
was
book?
trying
I thought
to
it was
do.
like, I did nothing.
Yeah, it could be
Or
just
money.
putting on makeup again.
Or it's like,
I'm not sure. It could be money. It could. I'm not sure, but this was the Bren we were looking for.
Maybe we gotta ask like a cute manager or something so that we find out what.
Oh
what
yeah.
it is.
Okay. Yeah. We should ask the manager for sure. But it's definitely a lot of highlight reel plays here. Bren, I think the most dominating map we've seen today. out of all the teams. They just look so good.
Definitely the shortest half that we've had the entire day. I mean, this was just like an additional 5 or 6 rounds, was it? And it was done. And you know, like as I said earlier, Bren really going for these high risk, high reward plays. And I really do have to commend, you know, earlier in their match against Rising Hope, we really did see, for example, players like Shiraz really pop off, and Zinni as well. This map, I do have to give it to Ali and Alexi as the anchors of Bren on Haven. Like, look at this. High value plays and high value kills that usually once they have their say, the round's decided.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ali and Alexi, double A, really the batteries of the team. They really held it through. Kachao with the ace though,
Oh,
giving
yes.
OGT life a little bit, but it just was not enough because Bren were just a little bit too much to handle for OGT. And I mean, look at Bren. Again, on the side of OGT, I'm gonna like pointing this out. MVP goes to Chloe because she played out of her mind. 302 combat score, the highest of all, but it's a team game. On Bren, everyone was firing on all 5 cylinders. Everyone was finding the kills. They were finding a team place. No matter what adversity or OGT threw at Bren Victress, they just found ways to win back the round. Even though it looked really dicey in some of the holds, they were able to close it out. And I think that's the biggest difference between the two teams in this map.
Yeah, exactly. I think like Bren, like as you mentioned, they knew exactly, you know, like for example, they knew how to manage their utilities and not just their own, even their opponents. For example, if it meant even tanking a full, you know, a full ult from the breach, that was okay as long as it gave them a better position to be able to, you know, secure a site or something. That was okay. They didn't panic. They kept their cool. They knew exactly where the others were, and that just goes to show the teamwork of this team. And the confidence, the 100% confidence to be able to, you know, have the ability to execute these kind of plays. You wouldn't be able to do that if you had like 1 second of hesitation.
Yeah, not at all. And of course, Bren take the 1-0. They're up on the lead. They really want to close this out against Orangutan because you don't want to give them space. If they get space, it might get really dicey. So let's see between Bren and Orangutan, who will take the victory.
That is right. And Zach did mention that they're known for comebacks, so we're going to see if Orangutan can do that on our second map right after this quick break.
Wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round. Wanna get it crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a giddy crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a giddy crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down.
Welcome back to VCT Game Changers APAC Elite. You're back here with Mika Fabs and Key on our desk. And we are heading into map 2 of Bren Victress versus Orangutan. Orangutan's map pick, by the way, so we're expecting that comeback that Orangutan are known for. Key, do you think this favors them?
From the looks of game 1, Bren just looked so strong. Like I'm not trying to be Homer or super biased here. I've just not seen that kind of aggression, that kind of control that Bren has had in that map today. And throughout the tournament, I think only Alter Ego Celeste and to an extent X10 have really shown that level of strength. And I think that Bren have found something that was missing these past few series for them. And I think that Ascent is also a very good Bren map, by the way. Like I mentioned, it's always it was Bind and Ascent. It was Split and Ascent that they really loved. And there's a Bren lineup that was actually super sick in Ascent. I call it the Molly lineup. It has Killjoy, it has KO, it has Raze. I'm not sure if they're gonna run the same thing now that Fade is a thing, because I think that drastically changes the meta. But they're just so used to executes on Ascent, they might have a different variation of it now. And Orangutan picking it is a sign of confidence for Orangutan though. So I really am not sure, but I will still give the edge to Bren just because they look so good in the first map.
So like that Molly lineup was basically every agent that could throw something into the air.
I mean, Fade can also throw something.
Yes,
it just doesn't explode. It can do a little bit of damage. It might even help the Molly lineup, in fact, because of C's. I think C's might change the Molly lineup to make it even better.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of Fade, I am looking closely at the initiators for this map, because for Orangutan, they do love the double initiator setup with Japeeps and Kachao. Kachao, by the way, securing that ace for today. Good job for her. But I'm wondering if they're going to go for the Sova or if they're going to go for the Fade, because we do know that Bren does favor the Sova on this map, while Orangutan does favor the Fade. So it's going to come down to that and how they can use the utilities to be able to set up for the rest of their team to do what they do.
Yeah, it might also even be the KO for Bren. Alexi loves playing the KO here, so I think it's going to be the big question mark coming to this map. What the agent selection will be, what the executes will be, because Orangutan picking it they know fully well that Bren also like this map. So the fact that they're choosing it means that they either have a counter strat, maybe just go for the retakes and just wait for Bren to execute. We've seen that happen. We've seen some teams be able to overcome Bren even on a set. So it's not infallible. It's interesting. It was innovative for sure. And I think that when watching VCT Game Changers APAC, at the very beginning, innovation was very, very rare. I would say that everyone was always running the same Jet Drain and Jet Raze Omen Sage lineup, but now we're starting to see variations. We're starting to see the skill level increase, and between the teams that are in this tournament right now, the top 8 of APAC, the teams have improved significantly from last year. And I think it's not just in terms of individual play, it's in terms of the team play and gameplay as well. So there's a lot more plans, a lot more counter stratting, a lot more studying your enemy, because there's so much footage to go around. And I think that for between the two teams, it's a matter of who has done their homework.
Exactly. And I feel like for Bren, they do have that massive support system, of course, that allows them to be able to do their homework very, very well. But also, like, in terms of the experience, also you can tell, because they do have that those kind of plays that allow for creativity. That wouldn't come from somebody who might not be as experienced, especially in a high stakes tournament such as this. So you can kind of feel that kind of hesitation from Orangutan, I feel, especially when, for example, Sway is killed like right off the few seconds of the first of the round, of the top of the round. Once that Sway is down, you can feel those first few seconds of Orangutan trying to scramble and okay, what do we do again? Oh, right, this. So you can kind of feel Sway's influence on the rest of the team as well, and her the way she carries that momentum to the whole team. When she's gone, when that head is cut off from the Hydra that is Orangutan, I know it's weird because an orangutan is a mammal, but when that's gone, it's that's when orangutans are their most vulnerable.
I agree. It's really, maybe because when she dies, she needs some time to really take a good look at what's currently going on in the game. But just taking a look at the agent selection, it's there's some overlaps. You see Fade, Omen, but I think those are the only two common things. The other side, it has Neon, the other side has Raze, so difference in philosophy. Even with Mikasi out, Turley can also play that Raze, so that still fills in that gap for Bren Victress. They're also playing the Chamber in place of a different Sentinel, and I think that that's very interesting because they also have the KO on the side of Bren Victress instead of the Breach, which Orangutan have. And I think that this is very interesting because both teams have very differing approaches on this Ascent map.
Yes, and just looking at the past few lineups of like Bren, for example, this is a new thing that they're doing. So again, it's that creativity and experimentation that we're talking about. That's also the kind of a creativity and experimentation that your opponent might not be able to predict. How do you then review for this kind of match when you have no VODs of this kind of lineup? We're gonna find out if Orangutan does have that homework in store, if they can take this one from Bren Victress, or if Bren Victress will take this to a 2-0. Casters, over to you guys.
Man, Mika and Key, thank you so much, but I am so nervous. Zach, this is possibly the elimination match for Orangutan Esports right now. We see the differences in the agent composition, but again, it comes down to this moment.
Definitely does. And right now, like you mentioned, only one game away from being kicked out of Elite, from having their run for the year in Game Changers ended. But Orangutan, they're a team that thrives in these high pressure situations. You've seen it quite a bit. And Ascent, it's their map pick. It's the map that they're most known for, honestly, in the circuit. That 1-11 comeback we were talking about last time, it was on this particular map. And I think that one of the players to really watch out for, in my opinion, is Chloe on that Killjoy. So dangerous, the way she weaves in and out of sights on that defense. She has managed to single-handedly clutch multiple rounds for Orangutan on this team comp. But there have been some changes, like you mentioned. It is going to be, I believe, the replacement of the Sova with that Fade. That is going to be the major change that we're going to be seeing in Orangutan's team comp from over the last few months. But talking about Bren, what are your first impressions there, Quack?
I mean, it's like you mentioned, right? That Sova for a Fade, but also the Raze coming in. I feel like on Ascent, that's something that gives you a little bit more potential as opposed to a Neon. You're gonna have to play with your team a lot more. Whereas the paint shells, the blast packs, they do different things. So both are equally effective. It depends on how you play it, but that's where I think I need to see OGT really pulling themselves together to make this one work.
Heading into this pistol, though, it is Shirazi yet again with this headhunter trying to hold down the B link, but Sway again not really letting any time into the round elapse. Does clear out lines as well, and off the back of that, it looks like they're gonna be going on for a full-on A commit here. Nobody from the side of Bren is really going to be on site. That 0 point though is going to give away the position of at least 2 players, if I'm not wrong. Alexi will know that there is some presence towards A side, but it was just a fake. They get the orb and then they get out of there, with the exception of the one lurk coming in from Sway of all people. Interesting tactic, but in the meantime, the spike is going to be making it towards the B side instead.
Just slowly creeping upwards. Ali still trying to jump peak for information. I don't think Sway's going to be able to find all that much, though. So unless she rotates back around middle to cut someone off on the rotation, I don't know how effective she can actually be. The hit does go in. Fault line sent out. Haunt as well, but does not catch anything.
Ooh, they still haven't gotten into the site though, and Curly is still alive. Chloe though being able to find that first pick for Orangutan is going to make things a little bit easier. It's all going to come down to just these remaining players right now. Shirazi gets a shot, but is immediately dinked and brought down to really low HP. The Paranoia invested as well, but now they have the spike. I don't think they've cleared up backside yet though, so that's still going to be a player on this particular side here. Does get spotted out, and Chloe with 4 on the round with that frenzy, bringing things back for Orangutan. It's all down to just Zinni here. Does have that weapon of her own. Let's put the turret down as well, making this even more difficult. Gets the shot onto Chloe, so this 1v2 is definitely doable right now. 50 HP left, and the clock is ticking. City desperately trying to find some value here with that ghost, but not quite able to connect really. Makes a little bit of noise to perhaps bait the rotation. Has a smoke that's recharged as well, and will be trying to isolate these fights off the back of that. But Chloe swings out, gets the ace. What a round from the Killjoy, and you know, we were talking about quick ults, Quack. Guess who almost has their ult ready to go, just went away.
Thanks to that pistol ace. And she did it with a frenzy initially as well. I mean, this is pristine teamwork. This is what we needed to see from OGT. The way that they went in together, maybe Chloe using her teammates as a bit of a meat shield, haha, but they actually were able to find these frags as a result of that. And also, putting that turret on the top after getting the spike planted, that's brilliant as well, because it actually slows down Zinni as she tried to go in to find out a little bit more. Now though, Bren are pissed off and they're pushing out.
Yeah, they're not slowing down on this time around. They're pushing on all these sides, but it seems like Orangutan are ready for the possibility. They find 4. It's all down to Shirazi here. Does get 1 with the headhunter. I would like to see how many bullets the chamber has left in the chamber to see how much more damage. The answer to that is going to be 0. Does have the classic left, trying to take this fight with Kachao, and will be forced to TP back because, well, there's no HP and there's no bullets left. The spike does go down on the B side, and right now Shirazi is looking to ace this out somehow in order to convert this very unlikely anti-eco from Orangutan. It's just going to be waiting for someone from Orangutan to get a little bit too trigger happy, and right now Kachao and Shirazi, they're just hugging each other towards this mid. They do eventually fall off, but Kachao finally deciding to push forward, not looking in the right direction. It is going to be Shirazi who gets the dink, but it's not going to be enough, as Kachao will connect that single bullet that she needed to with that Spectre. Orangutan finds 2 and holds on to 4 of their Spectres as well into that particular round.
I think Bren trying to go for that approach that they had on Haven, aggressively pushing out at times despite being on the defense. But on a set where there's so much more space, so much more room, it gives OGT a little bit more time to actually read these plays, and that's why they're prepared for it. Now, though, that Bren has their full buys, OGT might have to be the ones to press down on that pedal to rush in towards the site. Instantly getting A main control is going to be Sway grouping up with her team.
Yeah, Zinni is going to be playing towards this generator, a pretty common area that you can usually clear with the help of, let's say, a Killjoy Nanoswarm or a KO Fragment. I think that might be the case. Sway messes up her wall, though. That's going to be unfortunate heading into this particular round. And Zinni, off the back of that Paranoia, tries to swing, does a lot of damage to Sway. In fact, only going to be left with 16 HP. Alexi as well, able to connect the shot onto Cash, but that's going to be a player and a half, or a player and almost 2 down for the side of Orangutan. Sway still alive and kicking, though, somehow. That's going to be huge. But again, Shirazi holding this mid position, gets the headshot and immediately falls back. Points that pointer crosshair towards Link, I believe, and Orangutan. They fall apart, kind of.
It's just like Mika mentioned, this is the roadblock that OGT faces at times. When things are going good, it's great. They got the momentum, they got the wind, and they run with it. When their leader is gone, though, when the head of this Hydra has been chopped off, they don't quite know how to recover. And off this one blunder, Chloe only able to get one, not before getting completely eliminated by the rest of the Bren squad. It's going to be 1-2.
Bren find their first and also holds on to 4 of those rifles, which is something that they're going to be very happy about. And of course, you know, on this particular round, I think that the whole dual holds coming in from both Alexi and Zinni on this A side, every single round is going to be very difficult to break because they usually tend to play for that crossfire and they have just a lot of stall utility. Those dark covers from the Omen, also just the flash points, as well as being able to use the KO 0 point to shut the utility down from OG. It's gonna make things very, very difficult right now. Heading into this full buy from them though, I think they do have the lockdown from Chloe available and they might be looking to capitalize on that possibly towards this B mid split if they decide to go for it. Right now though, they're just trying to see if anybody's gonna be taking the bait down towards this short area here. Shirazi though, she's just content to hold this off angle and see how much more they can really do.
And there's a little bit of extra support as well, some pieces of utility nearby Shirazi. But OGT are going to ignore that completely. In fact, they're going all the way down middle towards Pizza, towards Market. Breaking down that door, though, does give their position away. And then dark cover comes through to block off the B-split push. And Shirazi's position finally made known with effect on towards Chloe.
Yeah, that's going to be the only ultimate, the most important ultimate they had, honestly, for this round. Being taken down, lockdown no longer available, is going to make pushing into that B side very difficult right now. So they are going to regroup and possibly go in for that A hit. The Prowler being used is going to give away information that A is going to be where the hit is eventually coming. Sway is going to be leading the charge yet again. The Haunt spotting out Shirazi as well. She's going to be falling back and playing it safe because right now, Bren, they do have the man advantage, so as to speak. But any second that could change because Orangutan, they have the spike down, and now Bren, they're on a timer to try and retake this site here.
They're holding some pretty good positions as well. What they really want is for Bren to push into them, for them to find some picks. Getting the sprays down as well now. A bit of a crossfire setup as A short is being held too. Ali cannot push past this position. However, the site's been lost. It's all down to Kachao.
Oh, no.
And the boom bot just blows up in front of her face. What a celebration from Shirazi. And to bring Bren to 2-2.
That's the worst possible way to go, honestly, and I feel really, really bad for Orangutan to lose it like that. But nevertheless, Bren, they do find 2 in a row, and off the back of that, Shirazi is going to be able to pick up that operator as well. Null command finally online for Alexi, so that's going to be an ult to watch out for, because it can not only completely stall the push, but also it's going to be super effective on the retake, being able to shut down both that breach as well as that Killjoy utility there. But heading into this particular one, they do have Orangutan are going to be on a little bit of an eco here, not much really to work with. Kachao tries to get that pick, but Zinni with the aggression is going to be able to find first blood, taking the Rolling Thunder off the hands of Orangutan as well. Again, Orangutan losing that first player, it is going to slow them down a little bit. They are going from mid towards this A short angle. Sway with the Marshall trying to find a pick, but so far, Bren, they're just so disciplined here, Quack.
Yeah, they're not really peeking much at all. In fact, just holding down the sites themselves. B main and mid somewhat relegated towards OGT, but looking at how OGT are actually finding the entries into this, though, it's easy for Bren to deal with. Dodging the first shot, but Sway landing the next one. Alexi gets a trade as well, but then now comes the rest of the squad with the Sheriffs and the Stingers. They are able to trade these up for better weapons.
Oh, Zinni's position though goes and checks, does prevent the spike from going down, and that is huge right now. They do manage to get back onto the side, and Chloe will be pushed off the angle. It's all down to just Japeeves here. Does have that as Sheriff to work with. Gets it, brings it down to a 1v1, but can't quite get that last shot. Turley will clean things up, but Orangutan, they almost made that thrifty work. Quack off the back of that first pick from Sway with that Marshall, finally showing up when her team needs her the most. It's unfortunate that Haunt didn't quite catch Zinni, because, you know, Orangutan, they were aware of the possibilities, just that the Haunts fell a little bit short, and Zinni was able to capitalize on that and just bring the round back for Bren.
It's absolutely right. I mean, if you take a look at how this retake plays out as well, Bren, with the utilities, with the way that they approach it from multiple sides, OGT are having a tough time reacting to this. Plus, the operator still in the hands of Shirazi. OGT buying back now. They want to take this fight to them, but they can't quite get an opening. Dark cover not quite yet sent out from Zinni as well. They're actually possibly letting OGT in.
I'm not sure if that's the best idea because they have 3 ults ready to go. Make that 4 as they pick up the A orb. That's going to be Casper with the From the Shadows available, and only Sway is missing her ult, and honestly, she's just 1 kill away from it. In these circumstances, I'm questioning whether you play for the site or whether you play for the retake, but Bren, it seems like they don't want to give an inch to OG because they know the kind of dangerous post-plant situation that can arise when you have a Killjoy online there. Again, though, a little bit of a red herring towards this A site here, and it is going to be the Pagels though that immediately shuts down that lockdown. Never mind, it doesn't quite connect. They do manage to get the lockdown in order. The From the Shadows as well going to be not finding much information. However, it is all a fake, and A is going to be where the execute is coming. Kachao gets that first pick, and with 30 seconds left, it is going to be A which is being pushed on, but there's no smoke available right now, and Zinni playing in this close angle does get checked, and just like that Orangutan, they're gonna be able, they're on track to pull off a flawless, and they do. That was quick.
It's really this method of trying to dance around across some sites, across A main, across B main, to bait out pieces of utility coming in from Bren Victress. And at the same time, you allow for players like Casper to really push in all the way from attacker spawn, defender spawn, not that it's much needed. It puts OGT back on an equal board, 3-3. Let's see how Bren actually adjusts around this. Their positions have been swapping around so much, but now that they don't have the guns, they're gonna have to try something different once more.
Shirazi, though, will have to go huge here with the Tour de Force. And again, Sway is able to just create so much space with the help of these neon walls that she's putting down. Mid is going to be the point of interest here. Kachao able to get that pick and fall back before that nade does too much damage. That is going to be kill number 1 going in favor of Orangutan, but the smoke has gone, and Shirazi is able to peek off the back of that and find one for herself. 4-4 right now, and again, OG have mid control, but off the back of that, it seems like they want to go for that B push instead. Shirazi still holding this cross. It could be so dangerous right now, Quack.
I mean, Shirazi always ever so deadly, so accurate, especially with the Tour de Force now. She makes use of the rendezvous, and it's something that works out so incredibly well. Bren, this time around, you can see that their approach is to set themselves up inside of some of these point-blank range duels, some off angles that they can make use of, but OGT are reading that as well. In fact, they're slipping through those other cracks, and namely, that's going to be Garden. It allows them to get control over the A site so quick. The spike will be planted pretty soon. Not to mention, Sway on one heck of a lurk.
Yeah, that is going to be her finding immense value, taking out Ali there. That's huge right now, but Alexi punishes Kachao for getting a little bit too aggressive. Casper on the side here is going to swing into the Tour de Force and connect that headshot. That is going to be the best weapon that Bren really had in their arsenal, immediately shut down. It's all down to just Alexi and Zinni here. How much more damage can they really do to these two players? It is going to be Chloe holding that angle, hits that shot onto Alexi there. It's all down to just Zinni, who is going to TP away with the help of that Bando, but Sway is gonna be waiting there for that last kill and does manage to connect it on Orangutan. They take the lead here 4-3, and it was a really good round coming in from them because they get that pick. They do decide to initially go towards mid, but again, they were aware of the possibility of the Chambers sort of force being there, and they just instead decide to go towards Garden and A instead, and that works out great for them, Quack.
Yeah, not really quite TPing away. TP'd into Sway. And at the same time, it's you can see what they were going for, but the dark cover just popped up a little bit too slow. Main thing though is that now Bren Victress gets to buy back up on the full buy with Shirazi back on the operator. Let's see how OGT approaches this. They go for control over mid real quick again. It's back towards this Garden A split sort of push, but Bren Victress actually have it locked down. The Nightfall might be able to do a little bit, but A mid still being held by Torley and Gang. She even goes in on the aggressive, tries to find a little bit more, but she's blinded as well. Casper taking her out, Shirazi locking it out from heaven. Everyone's closed in, and unfortunately, despite pushing towards Generator, it's just so darn fast to trade on top of trades, and it favors Bren Victress.
4-4 right now. Things have been equalized, and I think at this point we should keep a track of how many kills Twirly is getting with her boombot, because she already has 2, and it's not even the first half done yet. A beautiful crossfire on this A side as well. The trades, like you mentioned, really quick, and off the back of that Orangutan, they're going to be possibly calling a timeout here because, like we've talked about the stakes before, the team that loses this game or loses the series is going to be out of the tournament. And Orangutan, they're already going to be 1 map down. They want to close this out quickly and cleanly, but Bren is not making it easy at all these rounds. They keep going back and forth, and right now Orangutan, they are going to be having a full buy, but if they don't make this work, it might be the last buy that they possibly have. So they want to see how exactly they can convert this without much trouble, because Shirazi, once she's picked up that operator, she is such a menace as we've seen before.
Just this looming threat that could always be around any corner, any angle that you might walk into. And that's something that OGT have to constantly think about. Such things can really weigh down your mental capacity, though, and that is why perhaps sometimes the only way to deal with such things is to rush in. But then again, if you do that, it's a bit of a gamble. And that is why this timeout is being called. OGT, they really have to assess their options right now. Sway, she does have the overdrive, and she could use that to maneuver her way out of crosshairs. Oh, but again, that same A-split push.
Oh, I like this rendezvous from the chamber there. She's able to fall back towards A short and probably get towards Heaven to prevent this push from coming through. Despite the stun hitting, it is still going to be Zinni finding the kill onto Casper somehow. That is illegal. Shirazi as well towards short with the operator really making it work there. And again, this movement from Twirly keeping her alive for so long until Kachao finally shuts it down. Zinni is still alive though. Never mind. I take it back. It's Kachao who again manages to clear that corner out, and off the back of that will open up the ace side for Orangutan. Things are back down to a 3v3. Make that a 3v2 as Sway catches Ali on site. Is aware of the operator possibility. Ooh, sees the tip of the Neon's head. Doesn't quite connect the operator shot, but the headhunter is going to be good enough for that final kill. Back to a 2v2 right now, and Alexi also does have her ult available if she wants to choose it. They both jump down from heaven. It's going to be a 1v1 right now, and Alexi closes it out with that final headshot. 30 HP left, and I said she has an ult, but she doesn't even need it, so she's just going to close it out right there. Retrieves the operator to boot. Can she do it? Yeah, she does. Yep, that's going to be Bren taking the lead, and Orangutan, well, a little bit shaky there on that post plant.
Just a tad bit. A lot of times we see them approaching the round with this early mid push into an A split. A main though is often contested, especially by Twirly. One paint shells and it closes out a corner, and sometimes that is what disjoints, that is what separates Kachao from the rest of her team. When it comes down to it though, in that final moment, it's just Alexi winning out the duel against Chloe. It's so unfortunate. So now a little bit of a half buy, a little bit of a save, and OGT are trying to go in with another aggressive approach. Sway getting caught out though by Garden. Oh no, and the spike. Zach, let's look at that.
Oh no.
Headed towards B.
Yeah, I think they were hoping for Sway to cause a little bit more chaos than 5 seconds of what she did, and it doesn't quite trigger the rotation. There is still going to be Lexi playing onto the side here. She's been so pivotal right now, and that dark cover being invested is going to trigger her own ultimate. The only problem with this KO, the only problem with this ultimate is that it gives away her position, but it's not going to matter if she's just going to be swinging into the players right now. Already having one to her name, will be falling back onto the side to deter this push coming in, and the C's from the defenders. Immaculate is going to let Twirly sneak up on them because that buffet utility completely deafens you to the world. Twirly able to come up behind them and get all 3 kills, as well as that showstopper online. But Bren, they find 6 right now in this defense, and they're looking so strong right now, Clark.
It's like Alexi tweeted out, right? It's a book. She's reading it. She's the IGL. Doesn't matter. Her position might be given away. It's okay because she's not looking to duel against them. She's trying to stall so that Twirly comes in with this backstabber of a triple kill, a quadra kill even. 6-4. Bren, they are unstoppable right now.
Orangutan also did invest quite a bit of their economy into that last round, so this is going to be the half buy, I believe, kicking in yet again. They do have that hero vandal on Chloe, but apart from that rolling thunder, no real ults to work with. Shirazi in the logs area will be forced to TP out, and it's going to come down to these two players onto his backside here. Alexi gets spotted out by the Haunt. The Showstopper invested as well. Chloe finds one yet again. The second on the round already is aware of the possibility of a player towards main. Spots the head of one, but not quite able to get the headshot this time around. She does at the end of the day. It's all down to just Casper here with this Sheriff able to find the first. Does also have the From the Shadows if she wants to really pick up the spike and tries to clutch it out. We've seen it happen before. There's nothing like an Omen on Ascent trying to close out around here, but it seems like Bren are aware of the possibility of the spike possibly going haywire there. She's going to be booking it towards the A side. It is going to be an attempt to close out this 1v3 from Casper. And honestly, if there's anyone on Orangutan who can do it, I think it is Casper. Yeah, 30 seconds left. Does go towards the CT to possibly find the pick. She does have that ult. What is she going to save or is she going to try? It's the question right now. Yeah, she is, and yep, that is going to
shoot it. There it is.
She got it! She got it!
Oh god! And she gets to plant the spike. Plus, she has about 3-5 seconds to reposition herself. This is going to be key right now because she needs to put herself in a spot where she can take them apart one by one.
Ooh, that 0 point not really going to find anything, and she peeks out, finds a player, but that's going to give away her position. And right now she's going to be stuck between Alexi and the rest of the team. And unfortunately, what could have been a brilliant clutch from Casper is not quite going to work out. It looked like Bren were aware of the possibility. They've seen this too many times in every single VCT possible. You really don't want to give the Omen a chance to isolate those 1v1s, and they don't let it happen. Just like that, Bren behind 7, and they also have both the Tort, of course, and the Nightfall available, but this round, it was just Twirly going ham.
Yeah, I kind of wish we could see, player cam reactions because they're elated right now. The way that they're celebrating and everything. Again, it's these plays from Twirly, from the entire team. They read everything so well. It's impeccable how well their game sense is popping off right now, and they switch up positions once more.
The operator online right now for Twirly.
And
are you kidding? No, just sees the tip of Sway's shoulder and is immediately punished for that. Yet again, Alexi caught in this logs angle, goes for the jumping, but that's just bait for Shirazi. 2 operators just singing for Bren right now, and it's all gonna come down to these 3 remaining players from Orangutan. Make that 2 as Alexi decides to go in for that push and that kill. Again, though, Kachao is aware of the flank, but right now, they're going to be caught between this operator as well as the remaining players on this B side. 2 players from Bren pushing up, Twirly finding the first, getting the second as well, despite the flash, and that's going to be an 8 for half Quack. Oh my lord, Bren, they're not relenting at all on this particular map here.
Twirly. I mean, maybe Mika's a fan now because this girl got us twirling like a ballerina. The way that she dances around this, the way that she finds so many of these frags, reading the calls, reading the situation to know to sandwich them inside of B main this way, despite being blinded, it doesn't even matter. So you know what? I'm gonna toss it off to our ballerina and Marquis, our Riot employee, to break down what just happened in this first half.
I mean, how does an intro like that not make you smile? But Quack, you are absolutely right. I am such a fan of Twirly making the duelist role like, an absolute game. You can tell she's having fun. She's having fun right now. The whole Bren Victress team are having fun. You can tell they not only look good, they're feeling good right now, P.
I forgot that they were starting on defense, by the way, because it looked like they were the ones attacking. That whole half, it was a defensive half. But Orangutan, they're playing slow, and because of that, Bren just capitalized on the space all the time, and you can see the confidence. It was carrying over from game number 1, where they just had complete control over the game. We were able to find out that, okay, Orangutan are playing slow, and whenever they knew that Orangutan were playing slow, they would just pincer them, and so many times they were trapped on B main sandwich, killed over and over again, and Bren are just having complete control over the game. It is a defensive side of the map though, so Orangutan, I think they still have a chance to come back and claw back into this game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about the slow start of Orangutan. There were some times wherein Sway would try to cut through the site, which would disorient Bren for the first few rounds. But then Bren knew what was going on, and they caught on eventually. I do want to point out as well the confidence of the ladies on Bren Victress. Around 11, I believe that was, where it was only Alexi and Twirly defending, and Zinni and Ali were like on A, and they were defending B, and they were kind of just like, no, it's okay, you guys stay there, it's all right. We'll call you when we need help. And they kind of rotated really, really late into the round, and it was only Casper left. That's how confident they were. It's like, it's okay, you stay there.
They are super confident, and you could just feel it in the gameplay when a team is feeling it, when they've downloaded the other team, when they're reading them like a book. It's exactly what we're seeing right now. This book seems to be very comprehensive because they just keep turning the pages and they're just finding every single answer that they need. Bren looks so good right now, and I think that between the two teams, Orangutan need to dig very deep if they want to hold against Bren, because this is a variation of that Molly lineup, and I think it's pretty scary.
And here I was thinking that it was Powder, because they're absolute queens. All of them are queens. I thought it was
It's
fun.
both.
That was
both
just me,
true,
though.
I think.
It can be both. It can be both, Let's throw it back to our casters to find out if Bren can close this.
Let's find out. The chapter's still being written, Mika and Marquis, but you know what? I really hope that we get to see one more chapter. I don't know about you, Zach. What do you think?
Oh, of course. I definitely want to see Icebox heading into this. See us heading into Icebox. I'm sorry, my brain is a little bit frazzled from all that swirling around. Thanks to Turley, but heading into this particular round, Orangutan, they are going to be switching over to defense, and I genuinely do think that despite the round deficit, they have a great shot of making a comeback because Chloe is there and she's on defense. That Killjoy can be so devastating if you don't know how to deal with it, and Chloe in particular is a very, very annoying player. I think this is a compliment. The execute from Bren, though, is going to be quick, spotting at that crossfire towards mid. Sway is able to find one before the paint shell shut her down. That is definitely going to be an advantage. Two more players to get towards mid though, and somehow it is going to be Twirly finding one before the trade comes through with the spike. Is going to be dropped towards top mid here. The swing out from this tree area, huge right now, and it's all down to just Shirazi. Does find one. Two left to go though, and the spike is still going to be dropped in an extremely awkward position. She knows the position of the Killjoy and possibly the position of Japeeps as well. Both of these players, at least Japeeps is going to be the only healthy one here. That Haunt's not really going to spot anything, and I think they might be aware of the possibility of a push, a rotate back down towards high mid, giving Shirazi a little bit more of a chance at isolating these fights. But Orangutan, they're so disciplined right now. They have the round in their sights and they know the stakes of this pistol. If they lose this, they're looking at a 10-4 possible lead here for Bren.
Still though,
30 seconds
has to be
left.
so careful. So unfortunately, a little bit later, being the only player left. A quick attempt at pushing and breaking past OGT's defenses, but they were faced with a wall.
That was such a lovely defense coming in, especially, as soon as Sway goes down, the rotation of that additional player made all the difference here. Chloe being able to make her way to market and just back up her teammate, keep them alive. That was phenomenal coming in. Not keep them alive, but at least trade them out. And of course, Chloe, yet again, we talked about what a menace she can be. Her positioning, you never know where she's going to be, Quack, whether she's going to be on the A side. Even if her setup is on B, you might see her sneaking in through mid. And that's just the danger of playing against a player like her on that Killjoy.
That really is something that you have to look out for. Earlier on, I thought it would have been Shirazi with her disgusting ability to just teleport out of one and done positions, but this time it's going to be Chloe with her anchor potential, knowing exactly when to push out as well. A lot of presence on the map by OGT as they watch several angles. Bren trying to find the opening. Maybe a little bit of a default as well, but OGT are safe.
Yeah, they do. They have invested in a Sheriff on Twirly, but everybody else is going to be stuck with just these classics to work with. Of course, never knock the classic. It can do so much damage if you're not careful, especially if you can hit your shots. But that Haunt is going to spot out that player. Only one though, so it's not really going to trigger a rotation coming in from OG. Sway ready with the Marshall, but Shirazi is just going to be better on the headshot. But Casper is ready to trade it out. Shirazi still finding two. Picks up the upgrade as well. Casper towards his A main, though finds the third through the smoke on track for the ace. Orangutan already have two to their belts. Can Casper do it again? Is going to be the question. Does get spotted out. It's going to be incredibly low right now. Still holding strong, and it's going to be all down to Ali. Gets the spike down, does have that upgrade. Gets the first onto Casper. Is going to be tagged up quite a bit. The simultaneous peek comes through, and Chloe will connect the shot. But, you know, that round could have gone so badly for Orangutan if not for Casper being able to pop off there. Get the defuse at Orangutan 5-6.
Very, very true. I mean, MVP of the round definitely was Casper, even finding that final one despite being down to what, about 4 HP. Every single round, you see Shirazi start things off with those headhunter kills, and she just does it through gunplay alone. It's one of those things that just makes you wonder, how does she do it? How is she that sharp? But thankfully, we got people like Casper, Chloe, the rest of the team to play off of each other that way with the automatic weapons, bringing us to normalcy. Now, here's the thing though, damage was done to economy. They can't buy up that much. 3 players on upgraded pistols alone. Bren, Victress, they might get their way here.
You're definitely right about that. It is their full buy as well, so the expectation is that they will be able to convert it. Casper armed with only a frenzy. In fact, only 2 specters remaining for the side of these Orangutan players. That Boombot going to give information to Casper that there is, in fact, some presence towards this tree area here. Alexei as well has managed to flank the flankers, I believe, because these 2 players are going to be positioned towards main, and if they decide to get a little bit more aggressive, they're going to be punished for it. Again, Alexei, the IGL, the leader, is aware of the possibility right now. Does manage to find one, gets that pick, but is she gonna check this corner? No, she doesn't. At Sway will be able to find that first at least, and unlike the rest of the time where they try to go back for that flank, it is going to be her rotating over. But look at this presence right now from Twirly, already pushed up towards heaven, and it's flying in wait here. It is going to be the crossfire, in fact, between Shirazi as well as Twirly there. Japeeps finds one, but it's all down to just Sway here. The IGL does have that upgrade, has come back towards A main, and is going in as fast as possible. That sees it's going to be immaculate though, and through the smoke, Ali finds a shot. The full buy is converted for Bren, Victress, and they find themselves at 9, but I genuinely feel like if Sway had been able to put a little bit more pressure towards mid after picking up that upgrade, it might have been a better round for the side of OG.
Almost. But again, you have to credit Bren. Every single round, it's almost as if they are so prepared, so anticipating these plays coming in from OGT so well. Like, the moment they see a fast lane up, they know where Sway's going to be, despite whether there's a smoke there or not. Even holding heaven that way, they just know, all right, where's OGT possibly going to be? Definitely around this spot. Let's just wait there. And so many players are swarming in that one position. This time around, it's going to be Bren again, holding the default, not getting all that much information, but they know where these Killjoy utilities are. They can hear that tiny little sound.
Yeah, they know that Chloe is going to be positioned on this B side this time. So off the back of that, they're like, nope, we don't want to deal with that. None of that for us. They're going to be walking up into this ambush on A short though. Sway gets hit by the Prowler. Still manages to find a pick, though is going to be traded out by Ali. Off the back of that, it is going to be these 2 remaining players from Orangutan trying to anchor this A side here. They close the door and they lock themselves onto the side with 53 seconds left. It does seem like Bren still wants to go in for this A execute. Ali, with that kill, does also have her Nightfall available, so that's going to be information as to whether there are players on site or not. That will clear off site completely. Not going to be able to really find anyone, but again, the intelligence from Casper as well as Kachao to just walk back onto site off the back of that. They are going to be spotted. Casper from heaven being able to sing it out, gets one. Zenith with the trade. It is going to be a 3v3 right now as Japeeps finds one more. Shirazi going down is huge there, and it's just down to the Rasu players for the side of Bren. Zinni though finding one, not one but 2, I'm sorry, before being shut down. Casper will close it out. That got very, very dicey there. Zinni, if she had been able to hit one more bullet, that would have been Bren taking double digits, but Casper going so huge on this particular round, just repositioning, weaving in and out of the site, and just being such a chaotic element that Bren just couldn't really deal with there.
Yeah, again, it's just one of those things where it comes down to a bit of a numbers advantage, the trades going the way, and Casper being the last sleeper agent that comes out triumphant. If you look at how Bren actually approached the round, coming in from Garden that way was a little bit cumbersome, with the Nightfall not quite affecting the two players who were back of sight. I think that was the one that they really needed to deal with, to push off, to eliminate, because they were there the whole time just anchoring and being able to dish out damage as the side hit went underway. So now Bren calling a timeout, making use of it, trying to keep the momentum under their side. 9-7 is a pretty good score after all, and they have 3 ultimates to work with.
Yeah, I think that they are going to still also have the economy to buy in, with the exception of Twirly, but she doesn't need a gun because she has the Tour de Force. She is ready to play and slay. I don't know if you've seen that meme that's been making the rounds on the internet, Quack. There was like a female version of Chamber with the caption, "You want to slay? Let's slay." And that's exactly what Shirazi has been over the course of this series. But yeah, like you mentioned, Orangutan as well as Bren, they both are going to have the economy to buy in for this particular one. Sway, even though she has a Spectre, does have that overdrive to back her up. But 2 crucial ults right now. Twirly, especially with that showstopper, can easily manage to get the side off the back of that if Orangutan are careful about it. But it is going to be aggression coming in right now from Sway, who doesn't manage to find anything because Shirazi and Alexi are ready for it. Yet again, the IGL, the big brain behind Bren, just reads that play like a book, as we keep saying, because we can't stop ourselves, and it's honestly deserved right now.
It truly is. Every single time the pages are turned over, every time it's flipped, it's as if Bren are prepared for it. They held down those defaults knowing that this push would come through, and right now they get quick control over A site because of it. 2 players left, and Twirly, with her presence of the showstopper alone, is buying up so much time. Now positions confirmed. All they really need to do is to hold and prevent them from getting onto site.
Though that Nightfall is going to give away the location of both these players under Heaven. Shirazi misses the shot. That's a rare whiff from her. Chloe's immediately like, nope, I'm not going there. I'm not walking into the operator. Reposition towards Heaven, and now they know where these last 2 players are. Chloe able to find one, and Japip's finding the other. It's all down to just Shirazi, who is going to be locked out of Heaven, locked out of the door. Manages to get the shot to Chloe. Gets the second as well. The clutch for Shirazi with the Tour de Force will bring Bren to Heaven. Bren to 10, sorry, I'm just frazzled with my words, but Shirazi, what was that play? She breaks the door, gets the kills, and what was that?
9 was divine, but 10 is just even better. We're 1 step closer to 11, and it's that Tour de Force. Shirazi, so sharp. She almost died to the burst, the spray, but Japeeps with the repeak unfortunately just fell to it. Oh god. Oh my gosh, and again another push, and Twirly knows exactly what to do about it. The judge! It's disgusting, Zach.
Oh my god, the reads from Bren right now are immaculate. To be fair though, this is a little bit of an eco coming in from Orangutan. They don't really have much to invest in this particular round, with the exception of that frenzy from Chloe there. I think that this round is going to be very difficult right now, and Orangutan, they're possibly looking at 11, but the stack on the A side is a good read coming in from Sway. Despite her being the first person to fall every time, at least her calls are going in favor of Orangutan. If they can somehow hold these crossfires and get these right clicks in play, it might be what they need to convert this Thrifty. Again, Casper, the Dark Cover Recharges, does manage to put it down. For the side of Bren, though, they still have Ali alive with the Haunts, so that's going to give away a lot of position, including Casper from the shadows from the Omen is going to be invested right now. Casper taking a lot of damage in the process, caught in the open right now, though the trades are very quick. It's all down to just a 1v1, and Kachow with the classic going huge, finding 3 on the round, and the Thrifty for Orangutan. And like I said, if they can hold those crossfires with the classics, that is going to be what they need to convert that Thrifty, and that's exactly what happens. 10-8.
Down to those final moments. We're nearing the end of the map, and OGT desperately want to claw their way back in. So what do? A last-ditch effort. Just a quick A split to completely swarm down all of those Bren players. One by one, they falter, and those trades finally favor OGT. So coming back into it now after winning the round, they've got the economy. They're buying up the operator. They're trying their darndest to hold them off.
Ooh, that flash from Kachao is going to find a lot of value, not only finding a kill, but also being able to spot 3 players down towards mid. Shirazi, though, finds the operator of Sway, in fact, with the headshot from that headhunter. She's been looking so clean today with that rifle. However, this time around, Chloe is going to be on this A side, and this toaster oven setup towards this short area is going to take Ziddy down to a really low HP. That turret still shooting at her. 34 HP, 1 bullet away from her demise right now. The peak comes through with the help of Shirazi, who will be brought down to 21 as well. Spike at least will go down, so that's going to be a little bit of more money in the bank of Bren. And we're looking at a 4v4 retake, but the HP for these players on Bren Quack, they're all so low.
Slow, and they are just fast at making that spike plant. That's all they really wanted, but still, Twirly, how is she doing this around these corners? One more time, just step dancing in and out of it. She finds 2 headshots. Paint shells for a little bit more chip damage, but now it's down to those other players. They've been detained, so the spike will be defused. But a little bit more damage, and then Casper to close it out. 10-9 OGT, slowly making their way back in.
You know, that was Twirly getting 1 there, I can understand, but both is just insane. But I like that Orangutan, despite knowing that it was a thrifty, they didn't risk it. They invest that lockdown to really make this round work, and I think without that, it would have been even more difficult for them to close it out. Already, with that ultimate, it got down to the wire here, Quack. There was 1 player left standing despite the low buy coming in for the side of Bren. Right now, though, this is going to be a really pivotal round. Sway, yet again, managing to invest in that operator. Will be peeking out. Will miss the shot, though, despite having a shot at it. Twirly, again, investing that pit. Those paint shells, able to find the pick, but not Kachao. Kachao takes down Zinni. That's going to be the controller offline right now, making this execute so much more difficult for these players from Bren, who are running it down towards mid. Twirly already going to be onto the side here, but there are 2 players on this backside.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, the Nightfall invested as well to catch out and lower the HP of these players. Casper peeks, finds 1, 2 kills already. Shirazi, though, still alive, still kicking, trying to bring things back for Bren. Casper, she's bought enough time for the rotation to come in, and now the cavalry is here to back her up.
Enemy remaining.
Doesn't even matter though, Casper, for she is the ghost, the horror that haunts the site. It's been possessed. And Alexi, I don't know if she can actually clutch this one out. It's gonna be tough to say the least. Chloe holding the off angle and then stare. She spots out Casper, but no, Casper just walking forward, so menacing, so evil with the Vandal. A 4th kill, and it brings OGT to 10.
A beautiful round, and that's going to be 10-10 if I'm not wrong. And you know, I talked about how she had the backup coming in, but Casper doesn't need any backup. She's just gonna be able to shut things down by herself on that backside. Even this on 30 HP, she's still able to flick and find the head of that last remaining player for the side of Bren, who are right now yet again in a terrible position when it comes to the economy. Twirly, though, does have that showstopper, so a very quick push might be what they need to make this round work. That the turret from the Killjoy is going to be immediately broken. The Sancho, though, not quite working out, and off the back of that, Chloe able to just spray these players down with the help of Japeeves. Alexi, though, is able to stabilize things for Bren. First advantage is still with the side of Orangutan. Casper again sneaks out through her own smokes. What a menace, what a devil right now for the side of Orangutan. It's all down to just Zinni here, who's being flashed, and again, more utility being tossed at her. Casper's just gonna sneak up, and you know, if I was Casper, I would have gone for that knife, but she doesn't want to risk it. Orangutan take the lead away from Bren, and it's been 4 rounds in a row, Quack, for them. What a roller coaster of a game.
Yeah, Twirly, you can't dance with the devil and expect to live to tell the tale. Casper, she's been anchoring down the side and doing so much for her team. I mean, those paranoias as well, just buying a little bit more extra time, causing a little bit of confusion as well. I gotta say though, Bren, I don't know what it is, but maybe they need to call 1 more timeout, because these past few rounds, they've just been sending it nonstop, and that does not work. Now Sway online with the operator too.
She hasn't been able to really find her potential as a duelist yet, but right now with that operator finally being able to connect a shot, that's going to be huge for Orangutan, because that's going to be Ali out of the equation, one less initiator, one less agent with the key piece of utility that you really need to get intel onto sites there. That's going to make aggressing even more difficult right now for these Bren players. However, they do have two key ultimates still in their pockets. Both the Showstopper as well as an L command from Alexi are online, ready to go. Off the back of those, they're going to be aggressing into site here, but it seems like Orangutan, they're expecting it because they're not going to be playing anywhere close to the site. They're like, you know what, you guys can have it. We're just going to go for the retake here because we do have the woman advantage. Off the back of that, though, they get the spike, and now we're looking at a 4v5 retake for the side of Bren.
Plus a Rolling Thunder, plus a spooky Rolling Thunder, if you will. OGT, they should have this on paper, right? They're using it now, but look at that. Shirazi just instantly TPs away. Twirly still able to somewhat stay alive, not before the final moments. The Aftershock will be able to catch her. The dark cover blocking out so much. And the defuse getting under halfway now. Pop flash, but Japitz holds the angle. It's down to Alexia. She sprays, gets yet another, but the defuse still stuck. It's a win for OGT as they put themselves up on match point.
Match points indeed, and they really want to go to Icebox. They do not want to be eliminated from this tournament, so they're making the reverse sweep try to work out, and it all starts here with Sway finding that first pick. But even this read coming in from her, right? Apart from her getting that first kill, it is also her realizing that Bren does have these two key ults online and just calling for a retake on whatever side it is. After that beautiful round, though, it is also going to be two major ults still in the hands of Orangutan, both that lockdown as well as I believe it is the Nightfall available for Japeeps. Now, though, Shirazi does have an operator of her own. Sway, though, is still going to be rotating over towards, I believe, possibly more back angle, because she really doesn't want to be flashed out and taken. And again, Orangutan, they're not afraid to get aggressive on this defensive half for the first time. They go for a spray. They go to make sure that A-Mate is not being aggressed upon, and then immediately fall back. Extremely disciplined players right now. Smoke comes in a little bit late, but Sway will still be caught off guard by it and pushed off the angle. And right now, off the back of that, it seems like the site might be possible. Both Omens tries to break through the one way, but ZD finds the kill nevertheless. And just like that, A side is going to be looking a little bit more tasty and vulnerable to the players of Bren Victress.
Very much so. It almost looks like dinner right now.
Oh no.
They're able to get into it, but Kachao with the lurk inside of Wine, she comes up to take out Zinni. Now Twirly comes back around though. Shirazi almost being able to take out Japips, but Japips is the one who deletes her instead. 3-on-2 and the spike gets planted, but of course it's the two players with the ultimates.
Yeah, a 3v2 like you mentioned, and the problem is the lockdown from Chloe, right? It is going to be invested, and they have to, the thing is that they have to defend this lockdown for a while. Alexi already making her way towards heaven, spots out the killjoy, able to get that pick, break the lockdown to boot. That knife will give her information as to the location of Japeeps. Does get the kill, but she's gonna be insanely low right now, and with 28 HP, I don't know how much more she can really do here. Probably not gonna be investing that ultimate in this one. Might just choose to save the operator if possible, because never mind, it's not gonna be in a retrievable position. It's just gonna save that ult and that gun for the next round. But never mind, the operator is gonna be right here. They're gonna be able to get that for the next round. So Bren, they find Levin, and we might be seeing our first OT for the day here, Quack. At least from us.
Here we go. I mean, if Bren wants this win right now on this map, it has to be overtime. But again, the way that they actually took this round, though, it's slightly more controlled. In the previous times, we just see straight rushes, non-stop W, continuing to move forward like a freight train. But this time, they take some pauses. They take bits of control before actually confirming the hit. I love what they did against Sway, especially with the flash, the dark cover just to block her off. And then you have players like Zinni and Shirazi to push in to take control over Heaven. It's a little bit different, but it works out.
You know, for Bren Victress, you can see for sure that there's a particular player who's a star. Like Shirley, for example, she's been phenomenal over the course of this map. Alexi on the previous one. But for Orangutan on this particular map, everyone has been showing up. It shows up in the scoreboard, but more than that, it shows up in the way they're able to really cover each other's back. Casper goes down, but Cha was aware of that possibility, immediately pushes out, is able to get that kill, and also prevent that from the shadows being used by Zinni. So that's going to be one more ult that was completely wasted right now. Speaking about ults, though, it is going to be the null command online for Alexi. Nothing really much close for the side of Bren, with the exception of Ali, who is only 2 away from that nightfall. For the side of Orangutan, though, they have that operator. They have Japeeves, who doesn't have the money to buy anything aside from that Stinger, because she did choose to save that operator. And a little bit of a rough buy for the side of the OG players right now. The smoke towards mid is going to make things a little bit more difficult for Sway, and off the back of that, it is again going to be a little bit of mid presence established right now. The Boombot trying to possibly catch somebody off guard, a little bit of a default, but you know, no damage really being done by either team yet.
Well, that's the thing, right? Bren really wants control over it. They want to nullify and to disable a lot of these higher value players on the side of OGT. The operator, the rifles, they don't want those to come online. And that's why they're being careful about it. Now they have a little bit more control. They are going to slowly creep up on it. Here comes the null command, and that's the opening for them to hit the site. They go in for it though, but Sway's already here, lying in wait. The first shot sounds off, and it takes down Twirly.
You really don't try peek there too early when you know there's an operator online, and Sway hits the shot. It is going to be a 5v4 retake right now as the spike goes down. This time around, they are all going to be playing on site because they don't want to repeat of that last round. 2 major ults being committed right now. Nightfall detecting 2 players. Sway on the back of the overdrive, going for the kills here. Able to find 2 on the round race, all down to just Ali to keep this map alive, but it's not going to be happening. It's a defuse comes through. Orangutan, they're going to be taking a stance and pushing us on to Icebox. Map number 3, again, the celebration, the relief on the faces of these girls. The pressure of the situation. At one point, they were down 10-7 or something, and to be able to come back and win this 13-11, denying that overtime. What a game from Orangutan.
I'm not quite sure what Chloe was gesturing over the top left. But yeah, that's OGT. Now they're comfortable. Sway with the operator, actually able to do some work and really send Bren off away from the sites. Maybe even keep them trapped down with that overdrive towards the end. This is Orangutan, and they are here to stay for just one more map.
I mean, they are here for one more map, but that map is going to decide who is moving on and who is going to be going home, and that is going to be decided on Icebox, a map that I think Orangutan, I think neither of these teams have actually played them during the course of Elite yet, so it's going to be interesting for their debut right there. But since what a map, Quack, just wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. Maybe we're speechless and stunned, but our panelists will help us out with that one. Mika and Marquis, take it away.
Well, Zach, you did mention that OGT was known for comebacks, and we are being treated to one of the best that they have here. I feel like, you know, you saw how very confident Bren was, and but I have a feeling it was really Casper that was able to rally back Orangutan. There were those few crucial rounds wherein, you know, you kind of felt that Bren was going to get away with it, and then Casper came through in so many important rounds that just really gave Orangutan the economy and the confidence that they needed to take back this game.
It really goes to show like that Orangutan is one of those top tier teams, and it's why they're still in the playoffs. It's why they're at Elite. And we had a lot of hero plays. I think it was Zach that mentioned it. There's a lot of star players coming up from OGT, and it's not just, I wouldn't say it's just per map, it's even per round. It was Chloe in the pistol round with a Frenzy, and then with a Frenzy ace. And then I think Casper with a quad kill as well on the Omen. There was just so many things going on Orangutan. The players are all stepping up, and you can see that they really don't want to exit this tournament just yet. They want to stay within it. On the side of Bren, there's also Twirly. She's the one finding all the kills. This one is the one you see on the screen right now. That's Casper's quad kill. Almost found the ace. Might have been hunting for the ace even if you actually saw her coming out of the smoke. But on both sides, there's just a lot of heroics going on, and this time it was Shirazi with a 1 HP clutch. 1 HP on Shirazi there. Then Twirly again finding so many kills by herself, just multi-kills and multi-kills on Twirly in this match. But unfortunately for Bren, they weren't able to close it out here. It was Orangutan that was able to find the win.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, there were so many rounds wherein Bren, I guess, was leading in terms of like kill count and stuff. But you know, Orangutan just knew how to play around, you know, how to play around the timer, how to play around the diffuse, and how to use their, you know, how to use their utilities to basically push back Bren for just a little bit longer so that they can just hold on. They really stretched it out for this map. I hope this means that they're carrying this momentum on to our third map. And I know, Key, it's like it's getting late over here, but I feel like it's, you know, double elimination day here. So I feel like, you know, quadruple elimination day even. But I feel like we can't have it any other way here, especially with these two teams that are just, you know, it might be getting late, but these two teams, they're wide awake.
Yeah, they're definitely wide awake, especially after that. That was adrenaline inducing for both teams. 11-13, as close as it could get without going to overtime, but we'll have to see which of the two teams still has the energy going on, because Bren, this is gonna be their fifth map coming in. On the other side, Orangutan, they're coming in fresh, and you can see they have so much energy still with them.
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna see what's gonna happen, because Icebox is coming up next, and we know that one of these two teams, very, very strong teams, are going home. In the meantime, we're going to a quick break while I find out what this means somewhere on Twitter. What was that?
were shot to death last night. Now you're lying in my bed. Must have been a dream last night, but I can hear what you're saying. You were shot to death last night. Where's my cup of coffee? I was dreaming something bad last night. Can't you hear what I'm saying? One gunshot.
You're back on VCT Game Changers APAC Elite. My name is Mika Fabs, and I'm joined by Key. And we are heading into our final map of the day. Our final map of the day. No matter what, we're heading into map number 3 between Orangutan versus Bren Victress, and it will be Icebox. And going into Icebox, it's interesting because like both of these teams, they do fairly well in Icebox, but Orangutan has a 77% win rate on Icebox, slightly higher than Bren Victress. I don't know if this means that they're going to do well because Bren has a little bit more experience on Icebox than Orangutan does, Key.
Slightly higher, but like you mentioned, Bren has a lot of experience. One thing to note on Icebox, though, what they always had was Alexi on the Jet. That's something that we haven't really seen today because Twirly is sort of their dedicated duelist at this point. She's the one that's been on the Jet, sometimes on the Raze. We haven't seen Alexi back on that Jet just yet, but in their previous lineup, when Mikasi was still part of the team, it was Alexi that was on the duelist. I believe Mikasi takes on Sage duty when it comes to this map. I'm not sure if that'll happen again, but when Alexi was on that Jet, it was also pretty insane. Not that Twirly isn't an insane duelist, but I'm just wondering what we'll see. Especially with this new lineup, I'm just wondering what the configuration will be for Bren. They've also been really good on Icebox because of Alexi on the Jet. So we're gonna have to see. Are they gonna switch that up? Is it gonna be Twirly going to dazzle us again with her moves on the Jet? And for Orangutan's side, they've definitely found their footing. They've found momentum, and I think that, like you mentioned, carrying over that momentum into map number 3 will be the biggest difference here. And this is going to be the final map today. Like you mentioned, the last, and for both teams, it might for one of the two teams, it will be the last map that they play in this tournament. It is an elimination game after all, and this is an elimination map for both.
Yes, the stakes are very, very high for this final map, and it's gonna be sad because both of these teams, we've seen them perform at their peak, and they're both incredibly strong. And I just feel like on the side of Bren, they might have let that second map go because there are so many instances where they could have closed that map. So that must be really getting to them. In that sense, I would say maybe in terms of moral momentum, Orangutan is riding on that because they knew that they could have lost that map very easily, but they were able to get it. That must be so frustrating for the side of Bren Esports, Bren Victress rather.
Yeah, it really is a mental game, right? When it all comes down to it. For Bren, this is going to be their 5th map. Whether they let that loss get to them might affect the outcome of this map. Hopefully not. On the side of Orangutan, they're feeling good. They just came back. They were the ones who came back from 1-11, like you mentioned. And here we go. Alexi on the Jet, and Twirly is going to be on... it's going to be the Chamber on Twirly instead, and not Shirazi. Shirazi will be going on Smoke duty, and Zinni is going to be the one on the Sage. So interesting lineup from them. A slight difference on the side of Orangutan is that there's no Chamber, but instead Casper will be on that Killjoy.
Yeah, this is going to be so interesting because now you have both IGLs on the duelist role. So I wonder how this is going to affect the team because I feel like Bren Victress, maybe they can, as a team, they can catch up to Alexi a lot more than maybe say Sway leading the way with Orangutan. But with the way this Asian pick is going, it feels like they're playing into their comforts, but at the same time, they are putting a little bit of creativity in there. So it's something that is a little bit familiar, but at the same time not, if you get my meaning.
Yes, I get what you mean. It's comfort with a little bit of a twist, and
yeah.
Whether that's enough in this round, we'll have to see, because both teams, they're on tournament lives, and they really need to win this round.
Absolutely. So the stakes are at their highest ever right now for both of these teams. At the end of this map, one of these teams is going home and the other is making it to our top 4. Let's find out which one. Toss it over to our casters, Zach and Quack.
Me hearing that Zach and Quack is never gonna get old. Thank you so much, Mika, as well as Key, for that breakdown. We are gonna be heading into Icebox right now, map number 3, and it is all on the line for these two teams. Bren versus Orangutan, Ideal versus Ideal on that jet. We are heading down for one heck of a showdown, Quack.
Oh, excuse me. I was muted for a second. But yes, one heck of a showdown. Only one of them will make it out alive. And this is the thing about two teams, and we've seen their compositions. Another map where we don't have that much data on it, but now that we're seeing how they actually go in for it, one looks a little bit more defensive than the other, I think.
I think so. That Killjoy from Casper is a surprise because we've seen her pick up the chamber role on this particular map before. But you know, I did some jigging through the statistics in Orangutan. They have, in Game Changers, they have an 8 times win streak on this particular map. It hasn't been broken till date. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to note heading to this particular one. And they have the momentum coming in from their previous game. They have everything in their favor right now. And of course, on the Killjoy, Casper in particular, she was so huge over the course of that last round. On the Omen, switching over to the Sentinel right now, I think that she might be able to single-handedly possibly anchor a site, but that's going to come in the second half. Right now, it is going to be Bren on defense, and it is going to be, I believe, the wall committed right off the bat from the attackers on that B side, so that might lead to a little bit of ruckus in the positioning of these players from Bren here.
Just a little bit, you can see they're somewhat hovering around that one spot as well. We also have Ali, this Sova around the top of middle, maybe trying to get a little bit more whatever she can find. But then again, this comes down to OGT. They don't have that chamber to find opening picks so quickly. So I'm very curious to see what their approach is.
I mean, for Bren, Alexi does go for a peek down towards mid. Sway is going to be on top of that, not going to be able to quite collect the kill. The turret will be spotting her out, and she will be forced to fall back here. Still holding down the tube, though. I think she's aware of the possibility of Sway being able to push it for Bren. Look at Sway. She's just holding it down, waiting for a possible push coming through from the mid area here. The Shock Dart trying to dislodge her, but not finding much value. And in the meantime, the A side has been left completely open at Orangutan. They're just going to be able to walk in and get the spike down any second right now. Sway, just by sitting down on this tube, doing nothing in mid, is going to be creating so much chaos right now. And now she's going to be on the lurk as well to make things worse. The spike goes up. We're looking at a 5v5 retake. Take that a 5v4 as Sway is rewarded for her patience by finding that first pick.
That lurking duelist, and it actually works, because who actually checks the top of tube so early? Now, spike planted, the wall's been erected. Bren are going to have to find whatever they can from the top of factors and through screens, and they're actually... I can't believe what just happened. They took out the entire site. Casper, all the way from the top of belt alone, can't do all that much, so Bren, they take the round away.
Bren just jumped down into sight and won every single aim duel they took. That is insane. Headshots across the board there. And, you know, I genuinely thought Orangutan had that in the back because they had so much time to set up for the post plants. But, you know, I think Kachao and Casper were a little bit confident there. Didn't really go for the lineups. At least Kachao didn't, because you saw her playing up close on site. Unfortunately, that is going to be the round coming in for the side of Bren, despite all of that time being brought by Sway towards mid. And despite getting the plant, there's going to be no force coming in from the side of Orangutan. Something to note here is, again, Orangutan, they're happy to take it a little bit slow here. They're going in for that mid push again this time around. That wall, though, is going to immediately block off everything. Zini finding the timing perfectly there.
Aggressive wall, yeah, and it actually slows down OGT for a while. Then again, it's not something that they really desperately need, because they have the guns. Bren, they're just waiting for a push from OGT before they really let those specters loose.
Yeah, and they let them loose indeed. The dogs of war are abound, and Bren, Zini, as well as Turley, both of them capitalize and find that first pick right now. The shock darts making things worse down towards this bit. It's all down to just Casper and Chloe here. It is going to be a utility, guns, everything, and the thing being slammed right now. At least they get 2 before they go down, but at the end of the day, the round is going to end up in the hands of Bren. They do end up losing on one of those Spectres. Alexi, with only a Sheriff, is able to pick up one of them for her teammate. Aside from that, though, Orangutan, they're going to be finally getting their full buy. And I think something to note on this particular map is that Icebox is, especially a map where having the right firepower is so important, because there are so many of these angles that you have to take aim tools with. You can only use so much utility to clear them, and the Vandals are just going to give them such an overwhelming advantage as long as they clear their corners, because if you don't, that can be devastating.
As always. So those corners are exactly what Bren are looking to exploit. OGT, on the other hand, trying to suss it out using the Owl drone. Unfortunately, though, it's getting shot out. So Casper kind of knows. She has an inkling about this. She has to worry about Yellow, though, and of course the Rendezvous already being deployed. Now comes down to some linear duels. OGT still looking for him.
It's gonna come down to Lexi with the Sheriff, but it's going to be Sway who finds the better of her this time around. And Chetiv coming in right there with the help of that added rifle power. The wall going down as well. Should be letting Orangutan get the spike down. Unfortunately, I think they messed up the wall just a little bit there. Oh, never mind. That's the defensive wall. It does get broken down. Twirly, willing to reaggress, might be able to find the timing on this rotate if she peeks at the right time, but not quite able to do so. Sway will hear the sounds, and they're just going to be booking it back towards this A site instead, where there is going to still be a player present. Shirazi, the Viper, is going to be online right now on that A site with her utility. Sway taking quite a bit of damage in the meantime as they go forward, and Shirazi in the smoke with the Spectre can go so huge. Finds one. How much more did she get? Gets the second as well. The third on the round. Shirazi, how are you doing this? Before Sway finally shuts it down, but the damage has been down. It's all down to just Casper and Sway right now. 15 seconds left on the clock. Sway with the third on the round already before finally being shut down, and Casper cannot pull it back. Bren, they find the bonus, and Shirazi in her own smoke. What a play! How?
30 seconds.
How? Wow.
This is really pulled off just because you have so much information. I think it was Shirazi or maybe even Alexi, whoever was peeking out of garage that way. They knew that hit was coming towards A, and that's why we had Shirazi hiding inside her own poison cloud like that. Those close quarter duels, no way OGT would have won them unless they actually sprayed through, but no way they would have known to actually spray through like that. And now even denying the recon with her own cloud burst. This is so much control for the A site.
Yeah, off the back of that play, Twirly is going to be able to find the first pick. Alexi has that operator online as well. No ultimates really available for either side quite yet, but again, Bren, they've gotten aggressive on this A side. 3 players, in fact, pushed up, and they're not afraid to really try and hold on to it. Of course, to be fair, this is an eco round coming in for Orangutan, so not really much on the line here. They are going to be walking up towards the B side, where yet again, it's the Viper waiting for them in her with all of her utility available. Casper tries to get the headshot, not quite connecting, and that smoke being put down is going to make planting the spike incredibly difficult right now, because you know it does so much damage to players, anybody who tries to walk into it. But speaking of walking into smokes, Casper manages to make a wrap around, almost gets the timing, but not quite, because Lexi, she's rotated over and she's gonna be able to get that kill as well. 2 players left for OG, and their locations are both known. Right now they're gonna be kind of stuck
Here.
Just pinned down. They can't move.
30
Everything
seconds left.
disabled unless they move backwards, but that's no option either, because Shirazi is already harking at their heels. 4-0. What a start this is, Zach. I mean, look at the ultimate points on both sides. Shirazi has her Viper's Pit. The other 2 players, Twirly, Alexi, Zini even. This is dangerous for OGT.
For sure. Speaking of OGT though, I think Casper is only one away from her lockdown. So if that Viper's Pit does get committed on that A side, as we so often you see it being used preemptively in that manner, trying to deter that push, that might be the out they need to really push Shirazi out. That might prove to be so pivotal heading into this particular round. But again, you know, on this A side, on Icebox in particular, you really want to play aggressively, try to get that first pick, because if it's really hard to retake it if you're at a disadvantage. And Bren, they have the playbook to a T. They are able to just constantly aggress, and again, you saw their reactions, right? You saw how quick they were on the trigger to be able to smoke it off and again find the pick onto Sway. But talking about Sway right now, she has been able to get these kills, but most of them have been a question of timing rather than extreme aggression, and she's gonna have to step it up for the rest of her team, because she needs to find those gaps in the defense for them to really be able to capitalize on it.
No kidding. So many of these rounds, it comes down to the immaculate timings, and it's a little bit unfortunate because Bren are making use of those to figure out exactly when OGT will peak. And so many times, it almost feels as if OGT really need to take that pause, and that's what they did with the timeout. Something that could give them an aid. Pushing up into A side this time though, but it's been red. Zach, oh god, the Viper's Pit blocks it off completely. How do you deal with that? A Sova maybe?
Possibly, but again, Shirazi, she does have this Viper's Pit, but it's going to be backed up with Twirly up there, watching for anybody who trying to get a little bit cheeky. And Orangutan, they're still going to be holding in the hopes that perhaps there might be a mistake being made, but Bren, they're playing this with as much patience as possible. I think Orangutan, as soon as a couple seconds hits, they're going to hear that rendezvous and possibly try to re-aggress onto the site. But they're just going to be blind walking it in. Oh no, this is going to be so bad if it goes away. And again, Shirazi able to find that first blood. Sway, you do not just walk into a Viper's Pit like that. You have a Sova. That's why you have an Initiator to really set you up for those duels, as it says in the Valorant description. Either way though, jokes apart, Shirazi is able to find that first blood. And again, with Sway going down, like we talked about in the previous, like Mika talked about in the previous panel, it just completely shuts down the aggression for Orangutan. But Casper on the lurk doesn't quite catch the timing. Two players down for Orangutan, 30 seconds left. They have to go somewhere. That does need to be the A side. The shorty comes up huge, and it's all down to just Chloe here. The resurrection not really available either, and the off kill from Ali is going to find Bren their 5th round. What a hold on that A side
Zach.
crack. I'm losing it.
We've heard of the green wall of Optic. Let me introduce you to the green wall that is Shirazi. The way that she instantly reacts off of this, like, this is incredible micro plays. Instantly getting the spray transfer onto its Sway, even though she tailwinded away, and then swapping to the shorty to get the 3rd frag before falling. It's so strong. And OGT, it's a bit of a gamble that they were going for. It's a 50-50 push. Maybe she's not here. Maybe she's somewhere else. But unfortunately, it does not work out, and it becomes a mistake instead. So you really need OGT to play a lot more careful, but
Toxin screen down. Poison
I'm not sure what it is. It's almost as if they're just dry peeking a lot of things.
Yeah, perhaps they're feeling a little bit more overconfidence from their victory on that last game. But Bren, they're a team that you can't give an inch to, because if you do, they're going to take the entire road, the entire highway, in fact. Looking at Shirazi being able to just close out these duels head-to-head. Sure, they're against Stingers as well as Sheriffs, but nevertheless, just letting her isolate these 1v1s and not being able to trade out is making things so difficult right now for Bren. It's all down to just Chao, and that's a Viper diff coming in right there. Shirazi with 3 on the round, already getting that Viper's Pit ready to go online again. At the rate she's going, she's gonna have it back up by next round. But you know, talking about this for Orangutan, they do have the resurrection available, but more than that, they also do have the lockdown. And in particular, the lockdown can be so pivotal on this A side. It completely manages to close it out. And if the Viper wall is placed in the right place, it might be what Orangutan needs to finally get the spike down at the very least. No Sova ult available either from Bren to break it, so that might be what they need heading into this particular round here.
Whatever it is, they really need something different. Because it's been 6 rounds in a row now, and Bren are starting to get so confident pushing out. Now the punishment goes through, coming in from 2. This could be it to allow them to take quick control over B. But at the same time, look at Garage, look at Yellow. These are careful spots that they need to look out for.
The lockdown used to completely establish mid control, and that's what's gonna be that's gonna be where the spike is planted for as well. The blade store pulled out by Alexi. The quick swap to the operator is gonna be able to take down Chloe. That's the resurrection offline as well. And now Orangutan, they are gonna be at a woman advantage here. Off the back of that molly, it is going to be Kachal spotted out. Does a lot of damage before being taken down. The rest is real, and it's just bait right now. It's all up to Jafis this 1v4, and it is not going to work out. Diffuse is going to come true, and Ali with that death and the defusal and the kill I think she got on Sway, I believe it was, is going to give her that Hunter's Fury. I was talking about how she didn't have it, well now she does, but again, just Bren constantly being able to find these first picks. They're just dry picking these angles at this point, not afraid to peek through, and it's 7-0 Quack right now, and we're also looking at an 8-0 right now because the economy is not really going to be available for Orangutan yet again. They do have 3 ultimates to work with, but I don't know if that's going to be enough because Bren, they are riding this momentum wave right now.
Time for a field test.
It's a whole wave. It's not stopping. It just keeps on crashing on OGT, and it cannot feel good. So many of these rounds, and it's just Bren now setting themselves up again, holding the angles, a bit of a default 2-1-2. Trying to make their way around it, but look at this again, Twirly. This is the ability of Chamber, right? You get the kill, you instantly teleport away, and it's free. It's free. What?
Yeah, free is a good word there. Casper though manages to find the lurk onto Alexi. Will be able to get that A-side control and that operator. This could be the round that Orangutan, the play that Orangutan desperately needs. She showed up huge on the last map. This might be a repeat of that, unfortunately for her though. Shirazi is going to be able to take down Sway. I think that's going to be the Blade Storm offline as well if it was actually. No, never mind, it wasn't there in the first place. Casper though on this A-side is going to be wrecking a lot of havoc. The spike though, it is going to be
enemy remaining.
It is going to be taken down. Unfortunately, Jaffe takes a fight that she really shouldn't have. It's all down to this Casper here in this 1v3. Tries to get the shot, but Shirazi is going to be too clean with the bullets, and another 3k for her. And Quack, remember what I said about her ultimate? Because guess who has it back online?
Shirazi, and not just Shirazi either, like so many of them, and that's the thing. A lot of these rounds are made because OG continuously peeks at separate spots across the map, trying to catch the Bren players. But Bren are just holding, they're waiting, they're finding a lot of these duels so easily because they're prepared for them. You try to head towards B, but Shirazi, Twirly, they're always there. A site now is being blocked off. You got Ali watching down the middle. OGT have yet to find a single opening. Maybe mid, because Ali is alone, so that might be their ticket to taking down the A site.
Ooh, look at this positioning from Shirazi though. She's pushed all the way almost out through her Viper's pit. The pit from the side of Orangutan is going to be committed as well towards the CT, but the first blood is nevertheless going to be coming in for a Twirly with the tour de force there. Chloe though able to trade it out and might be able to finally use that resurrection to get a player back up. A 4v4 retake right now though, and Casper is still watching this Viper's pit, watching for Shirazi, but she's already pushed out spots. 2 players, gets that first, is going to be able to molly the angle off, tries to take the fight, is not going to be able to get the second quite yet though. Casper as well, going for the post plant. Finally now the nanoswarm's being invested, but Alexi with the shorty. Okay, that's 150 credits by the way, and it does too much damage for Orangutan to recover from 9-0. Quack. I really wish we had a point of view of that because I cannot believe my eyes. 2 with the shorty, Quack. 2.
Just incredibly confident plays coming up from Bren. And unfortunately, it feels like the mental strength of OGT is all but dissipated. They really need to pull themselves back together. This is now 9 rounds in a row. This does not happen by mistake. They had it on paper. We had Casper on a bit of a lurk, if you will, even playing post-plant with those nano swarms. But when it came down to it, all it took was what? 150 credits from Alexi? Are you sure?
I feel you, Pack. I would go as well if that happens to me. And Orangutan, they're gonna be forcing into the round here. Desperate times call for desperate measures. They're just gonna be full sending it down towards this A side, and perhaps this is what they've been missing out. Every single time they've been going for those isolated peaks like you've mentioned, but now they're finally trying to coordinate as a team. They do have that Hunter's Fury as well as that drone available, and finally Sway able to get that first pick with the help of that Guardian connected for connecting it right onto Shirazi's head. That's going to be the Viper utility completely taken offline here, but look at this discipline coming in from Turley. Hasn't moved an inch. In the meantime though, Orangutan, they are looking to possibly slow things down, maybe cut noise, create a little bit of confusion for these players from the side of Bren. The rifle that's been dropped is not quite in a position that can really be picked up either, and I think that the call from Alexi is interesting because they are going to be moving it back, but again the backstab coming in, from that is the backstab, right? No,
yes. I mean, they heard the dash. That's why they thought that OGT were rotating away over to the B site, but really they were just waiting for it. Now that the footsteps have gone, OGT have arrived onto the site. What I'm wondering about though is, do you have the wall? No, Chloe does not. She tried to get it planted, but Torley was just prepared for the shot, the assassination coming in from Raptors.
But Sway doing so much damage with that Guardian, able to just get I believe Torley down to 5 HP there. Still stay alive though, so perhaps that heal might be coming in any second. But again, Sway going huge, finding one more. The crossfire is all they need. It's all down to just one player right now. It's just never mind. The round is done. Casper gets the last one, and finally Orangutan, they find their first round. It was a long time coming, but finally they figure out that playing as a team is what they need, and Sway will pick up that upgrade of that operator. So perhaps this is where their fortunes really change back.
That's kind of lovely, yes. Fortune-changing moment. A bit of a call from Sway, and some heroics coming in from Japips as well, holding the off angle. This is what they needed to do, right? Instead of dry peeking one by one, hold certain spots of the map, whether it's pipes on A or maybe green from B, and then you pick them off. It's so simple, but it works. And now, what are Bren doing? They're trying to switch things up, trying to go a little bit on the offensive, getting information from middle because of that wall.
A little bit more of a slower play coming in, but look at this B side in the meantime. While the attack comes in on A, the Bren players are going to be pushing out and clearing B main completely, so they know that all of the Orangutan presence is going to be centered towards this mid as well as towards A there, and oh no, they go to try and see what the turret was squeaking at, and unfortunately, Alexi as well as Turley, their walk down B-long is going to net them 2 kills right now. The remaining players for Orangutan, they made their way onto this A site, but right now they're playing at a huge deficit when it comes to women power here, Quack, and even if they can get the spike down, this retake is, at least the sides hold against this coming retake is going to be incredibly difficult for them.
Spike planted.
Not kidding. They do get the spike down though, but now they evacuate the site completely and back off into post-plant positions. It's planted for Belt, so they could make use of it if they can take down Alexi, and they do. Japips now, Hunter's Fury committed as well. It does a little bit more work. Making use of the poison orb though, but it doesn't cover you for long. Ali, Shirazi now taken away, and then the cleanup. Zinni deleted as well. 9-2 OGT. Let's see if we can invoke that curse.
Ooh, the caster curse, cough cough, is a possibility here if Orangutan can find one more, and that's the thing. This round was just beautiful coming in from them. They knew they had the post plan to really make this work, and they go in for it. Of course, that resurrection, the fact that the bodies for once were not in on site here, they were towards the A main instead. That makes it huge for Orangutan. They are going to be able to get their player back up, and despite having a 7-round lead, Bren, they are going to be taking a timeout to reassess things here and see what they can do to prevent that 9-3 curse from kicking in.
Well, let's see. They are using the timeout after all. They will be able to buy back as well, having won so many rounds in a row, right, Zach? Right? But it's the positions that I'm worried about, because so far, so good. They've been able to lock out several spots of the map. But what's happening now is that Orangutan are approaching together as a team. They're even pulling attention away just to get the spike planted, just to set up some post-plant scenarios, especially now that Sway has her operator. A very effective tool indeed.
Yeah, she's managed to pick up that upgrade. She also does have the Blade Storm heading in, so a little bit of
Shirazi.
versatility. She does, yeah, she does have that little bit of versatility heading into this particular round. But yeah, like you mentioned, Shirazi with the judge might be something to watch out for here. The economy only allowing her that much, but again, the judge is just a weapon you can't really knock. We saw the damage she could do with the Spectre in her own smoke, and if Orangutan are not careful, they might see a repeat of that. Japibs though is going to in fact be careful. It will invest that drone to try and spot things out, but does not quite clear Shirazi there, unfortunately. It is going to be the lockdown invested as well, and if Orangutan, they can be a little bit patient. It might be what they need to really get onto site, because you really don't want to push into that smoke and that wall. It is going to be the players from Bren forced off the side here, but Alexi holding down mid is going to be able to spot out. Casper does quite a bit of damage. The heal coming through though, and now Orangutan, they're going to be forced to come into this A side. They didn't go forward with the lockdown, and now Bren have reasserted their presence. 3 players have come back, and again, Orangutan in this mid round, they look a little bit stuck here.
Yeah, their presence, it creates so much pressure for OGT. It's a lot of information gathered as well. They know that there are like several players headed towards the A site. So I'm wondering if Kachao can actually do anything, but unfortunately she rotates back around, and this is something that I don't think it helps them all that much unless the team can actually break open the site on their own. Chloe doing a great job finding the entry frag now, and then the wall that comes up allows for a team to get the spike planted. Kachao going through the middle, a possible threat looming from behind. Bren are suddenly very aware of this, but they still push forward. Alexi, how are you doing this? On the ropes, off the ropes, she drops, she finds a little bit more. Chloe to trade back now, getting a triple. However, the spike continues to come halfway, and then where is Kachao? Not from middle anymore.
Switching Kachao, she gave me a heart attack there. I thought she might be a little bit too late, but Chloe steps it up in that 2v3. Able to find 2 there is phenomenal for the side of Orangutan. Look at these crisp shots. The transfer over to the headshot for Zinni, and despite Ali getting half, she just doesn't know where to look, and that's going to be what Orangutan needs to get this to that 9-3, that hallowed score for all Valorant games that, you know, either you want to be having like a 6-6 or a lead in your half, but if you are going to be down 9-3 is the best score to be at.
9-3. Well, you know what? Our panelists will see if the curse is indeed in effect. Mika and Key, tell us what's about to happen next.
Well, Key, what does the script say? What does the script say, Mr. Scriptwriter?
Well,
what happens?
Actually, the percentages say that the 9-3 thing actually doesn't really curse you that much. It just ingrained in our heads, but statistically speaking, you don't actually win more when you're down 3-9. So from what it looks like, Orangutan strung the last 3 rounds together. I think that looks great, but I think that just might be too little too late. 6-round lead on a map like Icebox, which is notoriously attacker-sided and notoriously Alexi-sided. I think that Alexi just might make mincemeat out of Orangutan, and that's the most difficult part here. It was Shirazi that was showing up on the defensive side. They just could not break into... Oh, she was like a mini Nats there. Like, no one could break through her. Like, no one could go into the site that the Viper was in, and you know, Viper's a controller, not a sentinel, but she can anchor the site so well. And just 6 rounds. Okay, but okay, let me just put this out here. OG are the queen of comebacks. They are the queens of comebacks because they've come back from worst deficits. They've come back from A111. They've come back in the map, the previous map. Both maps Ascent, by the way, but I wouldn't put it past them to dig deep again and find heroic plays from the players. Chloe on that last round was able to get a triple as well, so I think that the players do have it in them to come back into this game.
Yeah, they might need that push like a little bit more. If it's this kind of pressure that really brings that out of them, then why not add a bit more? But, you know, I'm so impressed with the way that Bren laid out their traps. They didn't need a Killjoy to lay out some traps because Shirazi and the Viper Sprint, that's a trap. Their quick rotation, that's another trap. What I'm wondering is why Orangutan let Bren get away with it for so long. Like, what was the idea trying to push their way through the Viper Spit when they knew that Shirazi was already there? There were so many opportunities for them to switch it around and not let them get the lead that they currently have right now. But I'm just wondering because they looked a little lost for those first few rounds. Now that it's gonna come to this, you know, last half of the series, I'm wondering if the momentum is truly on their side then with that round, because yes, they got the momentum in this last 3 rounds, but is it really? You know, there's still that question mark. Right now, Orangutan has that big question mark. Bren, Victress though, they look really, really good. So we're gonna see if they can close us out or if Orangutan, Queen of Comebacks, do get that comeback. Let's throw it to our casters.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mika and Key. Like you mentioned, Orangutan are the queen of comebacks. Can they do it one last time today? They already did it once on Ascent, so I wouldn't count them out anytime yet. And of course, they have Casper on the Killjoy this time. A lot of utility that it's going to be very difficult to deal with. Looking at the setup, it is going to be placed towards the mid and a little bit of red herring towards his B side as some presence is established, while the rest of the team is just going to be walking it up very quietly, very sneakily towards A. This Viper wall being committed as well, it might cause Orangutan to go for a little bit baited right now, but that's not going to be the case. And Chloe is going to be the first point of contact, gets that first shot, but immediately it's going to get traded on Japanese. So it's going to be re-pushing into that angle, is able to get 2 kills somehow, as well as the spike control. It's all going to come down to just Alexi, the IGL, to do something about this, but that's going to start with retrieving the spike. And again, Orangutan, they're content to fall back. They're content to say that, look, Alexi, you can get the spike. We have the women advantage, and we are going to drive it home right there.
Dude, I love Japips. You gotta love that. Like, no need for analysis. She just sits in that one position, knowing to re-aggress and then to flick over to the left. Alexi, though, able to pick up the spike. The tailwind might have expired, but that's okay. She wants to plant it down so that she gains a little bit more of an advantage. However, as soon as the beep goes through, you can see the movement will go underway from OGT.
The net is closing in, and Alexi, she will have to try and go aggressive right now to try and isolate these fights. Sees Japan does get the first kick, but that snake bite is going to do its damage, make her vulnerable, and despite getting Casper to 30 HP, she's not going to be able to finish up the kill, because all it takes is 2 bullets from those ghosts to shut her down. And Orangutan, they do get that first kill. A first round that was so crucial. A little bit of celebration coming in from Casper there as the defuse does come through, but if not for Japeeps making that heroic play, the round might have not quite gone the same way. All things considered, Orangutan, maybe not, you never know, but Orangutan, they are not giving up. They've shown that despite being down 9-0, they are still having the mindset to make this comeback work right now, and I don't know, Quack, I think they can do it.
That's what this is. They've won the pistol. This second half is the true test of whether or not OGT deserves to make it the top 4. And Zolmaraki passed that test. Can OG do the same thing, especially against a team like Bren Victress, so strong? But slight blunders, and it allows for OGT, especially Japips, to come back in like that. So now fast plays coming from Bren, but looks a little bit desperate. You got so many guns, but of course, Torley doing her thing, this time getting denied by Chloe, but not checking up at the top again. Casper, they've lost several Spectres now, but maybe not quite retrievable for Bren.
Oh no, the timing that Orangutan are having is just so unfortunate right now, and Bren, they pick up one of those Spectres. They will be able to get spike back as well, and Zinni's able to connect that final kill. It's all down to just Sway right now, has a Marshall to her name, but not going to be able to find anything so far, and the discipline from Bren is just unbelievable right now. They're going to be moving back towards yellow, both going in for a possible double peek here. Sway does have that smoke, and the problem is that she has no information. She doesn't know where these players are playing, and she's going to have to methodically clear things out inch by inch. She's gonna be spotted to make things even worse. With one smoke, does try to go for the half stick. Spray coming through, giving away the possible location, but it's Zinni who goes huge on this particular round, getting 3 for herself. And Bren, they make this anti-eco completely gone for Orangutan right now as they take double digits. And let's take a look at this. It starts here, right? Torley gets that first shot. Despite the trades coming through, they just don't expect a second player. Constantly the same story again and again. And just like that, Bren, this might be the break. This might be the last break here for Orangutan.
That's why Bren are a formidable opponent. I did not expect it. Surely OGT did not expect it either. It's this sudden decision to go on the offensive despite having nothing much but pistols, frenzies. They go up close, even Torley with the Headhunter, and it's that faith in their teammates to win out these duels that allows them to pick up the Spectres. Now, OGT, of course, the bank broken. It's easy for Bren to get the spike planted. Question is, how will they actually retake, though? It seems like they can't because they are blocked off by Twirly right now. And not to mention, there's so much distraction coming in. However, Casper taking her down will be able to pick up that Vandal. Possible aid in this retake, giving them a little bit more damage.
Yeah, Casper has a lot of work to do here. She is going to be putting down her turret to watch that mid flank, as so many people on Icebox love to do here. The clock is still ticking, and it seems like it's halfway there. The timer has gone down already. Yeah, Chloe, if they could, they would, because right now it's going to be the snake fights that are being committed towards us right now. The Vandal going huge. You're able to find two with the spray, and Casper is only able to get one of her own before being traded out. Orangutan are falling behind significantly right now, 11-4 for Bren, and this is arguably their last chance to keep this map from completely going into Bren's favor, because if they lose this, it is going to be match point for Bren. Orangutan's economy is going to be in shambles, so they are feeling the pressure right now. It's do or die, Quack, and it's go big or go home.
I might even call a timeout, like, honestly. This,
Gonna be fun.
arguably, I might even say factually, they lose this one, it's already match point. They don't have any economy for the next. You really have to make this round count, and the pressure is immense. They're not playing too aggressive as a result of it, and this is something that Bren is looking to exploit. I mean, look at how fast they've already taken control over parts of the map, over Tube, and now over pipes as they head into A. It's going to come down to Casper's utility, but I don't know if she can actually anchor the side on her own that way. There are 4 players headed towards A, and that's exactly what Bren wants to do. To seize, to divide and conquer.
Again, Alexi is going to be in such a pivotal position. Does catch side of Sway, flicks! The micro adjustment is perfect from her, and that's going to be first blood for Bren yet again. And now with that mid person asserted, it is going to be the utility broken by Shirazi. Again, going to minimize and mitigate the damage coming in from that killjoy utility. Possibly the wall being committed towards that CT as well is going to buy even more time. Bren, they get the spike down, and again, look at the discipline from them. Even though they have a numerical advantage, they're just going to be falling back right now for that post plan. However, Casper, she does have that lockdown, so that might be what they need to successfully retake the site. The only problem here is that Twilly is still going to be here, spots the tip of Japi's head, and is going to be able to TP away. Does get detained, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal, because right now the lineups are still available for the side of these players. But Kachao is sticking it, Kachao is sticking it, Kachao! Frozen Bacon! Orangutan making a round that they had no business winning. Everybody's dead, except everybody's in fact dead for Orangutan, but Bren, despite having 4 standing, they lose the round, and wow, frozen vacancy.
Just to have that ice cold temperature, sub-zero inside her veins, to really be able to stick it all the way through, making use of the poison orb that way. The rest of her team helping out as well. Of course, you gotta give a little bit of credit to that lockdown, pushing Bren Victress all the way off the site. That said, though, their economy, it's not that good.
No charges left.
It's okay.
Sway tries to put down a smoke, but unfortunately not going to be finding anything. Will, however, still be able to play onto the side because she has the backup ready to go. Gets that pick with the Bulldog as well. First blood this time around, finally going after a long time in Orangutan's favor. And that's going to be what they need to completely stall this push coming in from Bren. However, the resurrection after all those spike plants is going to be available for Zadie right now. And that's going to bring things back down to a 5v5. Again, Twirly, she will hear Casper jumping around. And we'll spot the second player as well. Tries to isolate these tools, finds the first, gets the second as well. Can she do it? No, Casper is going to deny that value. And things yet again go back into equilibrium. Alexi, though, going on top. Does check the corner along with the start. That's going to be the distraction. This is the main show. And the Viper Spit goes on as well. And Orangutan, with the player deficit, they have to somehow make this retake work. Alexi, though, she's still going to be holding this aggressive position. But Chloe, she has the res right now, Quack.
She could use it, that's the thing. She really actually needs to, but at the same time, there's a Viper's Pit. It's Shirazi. Like Marquis mentioned, it's almost Nets-esque. Japitz doesn't care though and pushes up front, able to take out yet another. Now if they go in and wrap it around the Viper's Pit as a team, they will be able to destroy them, but Shirazi pushes forward, sprays all over the place. Unfortunately, can't do it on her own though. And one way, a bit of a back-breaking play for OGT to keep themselves alive.
Chloe being able to get that pick onto Alexi with just a Spectre was so huge there. Like, that was what changed around. Getting that res online, being able to get, I believe it was Japip's back up, or no, it was Kachao, sorry. It was Kachao back up. And of course, them just surrounding the players from the side of Bren like a net. They just closed the net on them. And Shirazi, she goes huge, almost gets the third kill there, by the way, onto, I believe it was this stage. Yeah, it was Zinni. Almost gets the third kill onto Chloe there. 3 HP left on her, by the way, but that 1v4 is just too much for even Shirazi to pull out. Not she might be, but some things are not possible when Orangutan is playing like they are right now, and they are showing signs of life quack. They are bringing it back. It was 11-4, and now it's 11-6, and I think that might be the round they need to really like get those ultimates online as well, because Kachao, she's gonna have that Viper's Pit.
She really is, huh? And then that's something that they can use to block off sites. But at the same time, I'm quite worried still, because this is a tall mountain to climb. Everest, if you will. OGT are slowly clawing their way back into it. And those retakes have been effective, but still, if not for some of these ultimates, they might not have been able to walk away with those wins. That's why I'm worried. Bren have been able to take sites still so quite effectively. Now, if they answer the riddle to find a way to hold it post-plant, though, things could change.
Yeah, Alexi, this time around, they're going to be going towards the area of the map that they haven't been in a few rounds, and that's going to be the B side, finding the long area completely empty right now. They are going to be pushing it in, and the Hunter's Fury from Japit is going to be invested off the back of that. Does tag up 2 players, but not able to quite finish up the kills there. Unfortunately, again, Casper might not be aware of the fact that they pushed past this. He threw the smoke, though. He's going to be able to take out Shirazi. That is huge, because that's going to be the Viper's utility is down. Gets a second on the round already. Zinni able to trade it out, but Casper is still alive, still kicking. 3 on the round already for her, and it's all going to come down to these 2 remaining players. Make that one. Ali in this 1v2, her position is one enemy. Does have the Hunter's Fury, but isolates the first steal, gets the headshot. It's all up to just Kachao here. Put down the wall. It doesn't go up. She peeks too early, and Ali with the clutch to take Bren to match point and series point right now. That should not have happened for OG.
It really shouldn't. But that said, and sometimes it's heartbreaking for OGT, but this is what puts Bren at match point. The way that they work together as a team, the way that they have this individual performance to out-duel, out-frag some of the OGT players. It's now do or die. They don't have the economy. They're still desperate to cling on to whatever hope they can, but Twirly doesn't care. Twirly is not showing any mercy, not any longer. She wants to go to sleep.
Oh, I can't blame them. It's quite late for most of these players, but right now, it does seem like Bren, they smell blood in the water. It's gonna come down to just one player. Kachao to close out this 1v3. Does have the Viper's Pit to work with, but just a bucket in her hands. And like it's not bad enough already, the resurrection coming through as well right now. The wall being put down is going to give away her position. And again, Bren, they are so close to taking this home. They just want to finish it. They just want to move on. And that's exactly what's going to be happening. The newly resurrected Ali is going to be able to get that last kill and send Bren to that top 4 bracket. You can see the celebration coming in, and these girls deserve it. They played 6 games today, Quack, and they managed to blaze through them.
Oh my god, Alexi's celebration. This is adorable as heck, but truly kind of heartbreaking for OGT, even to the last possible moment. Nothing left but a frenzy and a Bucky to work with. I think she still had her ultimate, right? But she can't use it. That's the thing. It's just such plays coming in from Bren, and you know, not just wanting to go to sleep. Twirly, she put OGT to sleep. And honestly, the way that you just push out like that and find those duels, I've never seen Twirly perform this well before. She's so sharp.
She's really leveled up since the last time we saw her like a couple months ago. But you know, this is a heartbreaker for Orangutan because they've like really managed to come so far in such a limited time, and I'm excited to see what kind of potential there is going to be for this roster in the future. But unfortunately, that's gonna be it for them for this elite at least. What a heartbreaker for them. My heart breaks for them because I was really rooting for them to go all the way.
But you know what? Our panelists are going to take this back. They're going to find a way to tell the rest of the story and to close this book because, my God, what a game. Mika and Key, all you.
Thank you, Zach and Quack. And well, it is in the name. Bren are the victresses of our final series. And I have to say, you know, you saw the hugs and the kisses all around. These girls are definitely feeling good and feeling very, very secure about that win.
Yeah, they definitely played so well. I mean, in the first half, it was what, a 9-0 at the very beginning,
much.
and then Orangutan started coming back to the game, but like we were talking about just now in the halftime break, it's just a bit too much to have to close that gap of 6 rounds. And Bren, of course, were able to find it. And we're gonna see just how Bren decimated OGT in this whole map. It was a lot of aggression, and similar to the first and the second maps, whenever we see Bren playing, it's like they're on the attacking side, even though you look at the map and you're like, wait, Bren are green. And take a look at their positions, they're on the enemy side. And how does that happen every single time? And if they're not, if they're holding, it's Shirazi becoming the anchor for the team. They can't do anything. Look at Alexi's position all the way behind, just disrupting Orangutan. And they're just playing a step faster. And I think Orangutan only realized that towards the end, that if they play together and they play faster, they just might be able to get some rounds from Bren.
Yeah, you said it. Who was truly attacking and who was defending in this round? Because of the very, very quick rotations from the side of Bren Victress, it got really confusing in many, many parts, and that's not even taking into account all of the smokes and all of the Vipers and everything in your way. But I have to give it to this is because of Alexi, the IGL duelist, you know? She didn't have those, you know how sometimes duelists can have those force blinders? Like, for example, say Paper X and the Benkai's just like, hey, Forsaken, Jing, go
Complete
kill.
tunnel
yes,
vision.
exactly. She didn't have that because she knew she still had the rest of the team to guide. I feel like sometimes on the side of Orangutan, Sway can sometimes have that, especially when she's like on Nia and then she goes like straight into the back line. That doesn't happen with Alexi. She almost plays a kind of like quote-unquote sentinel duelist role where she uses duelist abilities to be able to get more information to set up her team.
Yeah, it's a bit more controlled aggression, if you will. I think that's definitely what we've seen. My heart breaks for Orangutan, though. They've really provided everything for their players. Just to really spell it out here, for Orangutan, all the players except for Casper, who needs to stay home because of the issues that Sway was talking about. They're all in Singapore. They're all boot camping here. They're all made their way here to ensure that they play in the best possible scenario. They have the best possible chance at taking it all. Unfortunately for them, they fell short, but really props to the team. Not just the team, not just players, but also the org for believing in this team and assembling this diverse squad to really make it this far into the tournament. Unfortunately, they fell flat to the Victresses, of course, who are finally seeing signs of who they really were, who they really are this whole tournament. And I think that if you take a look at the top 4, the really surprising one in the top 4 is Zol Meraki. I think that if SMG were in the top 4, it would be very obvious that these have been the 4 most dominant teams in the whole Open. And I think that Zol Meraki has been the dark horse. And of course, Bren, of course, deserved that spot in the top 4. We've been expecting it. It's just obvious. Like, they had to be there. And they showed why.
We've been waiting for you.
Yes.
We've kept the seat warm for you in a way. But we do have to give it up to, Orangutan. They did really, give it their all. And, just a few players I do want to highlight. Japips was so fearless. I do have to give it up to her. And Kachao with that diffuse. That will be embedded in my mind for the next few weeks whenever I try to defuse. Like, just stick it like Kachao did. But in the meantime, let's bring over a representative, or I think the whole team. We have the whole team with us. From Bren Victress, we will be chatting with Zinni, though. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the whole team. I'm pretty sure all of the girls are over there and dancing behind. Hello to the Victresses, and congratulations. You guys have managed to close out the top 4 for today. First up, I want to take it back though a little bit to Ascent. I can sense like from some tweets over there that there's a bit of frustration. Can you talk us through that and how you guys were able to regroup for Icebox?
Ascent, we started at the good, we started good, but like in attacking, we just really don't know how to get through their defenses. Like we're panicking sometimes, and like our post plant is a mess. We don't know where we're looking, and like everyone is getting caught off guard, even though we get in the site. The retake is just we don't know what to do. So huh? Yeah, their default in Ascent is really good. So yeah, after that we just really we stood up, especially me and Ate Ali. We talk it out and calm ourselves. We reset so hard and we bring out Alexis Jet in Icebox. So yeah, we got the courage again when we change roles. It's on the spot. Like Twirling was supposed to be
nice.
the Jet, and I was supposed to be the Viper. That like we change it up into what we're really comfortable, and so yeah, everything worked so well. Everyone is
Nicely
doing
done.
fantastic.
Yeah, Amiga, it's like you said, it's exactly that, right? It's back to their comfort, but at the same time, it's like a slight twist. But I do have a question now. What are they all volunteering you? Did they bully you into getting into the interview? Because everyone is like right behind you and just like watching you do the interview, but you're the one fronting it.
They're just not really that confident in speaking like in English, or I don't know.
No
maybe
way,
upfront
not Alexi.
people.
Yeah.
No, not Alexi, definitely not. They just want me in here. I don't know. I'm not sure if they're bullying me or not. I'm not sure.
No, they are. There's a confirmation for that. And lastly, I want to know how you girls are celebrating because you've been celebrating almost the entire series. We see it on your player cams, like afterwards, whenever you win a map. So how are you guys really celebrating tonight?
We have some food downstairs. We're gonna celebrate with it. Yeah, there's a lot of food downstairs waiting for us. And I guess the Bren staffs are also waiting for us. I think they will congratulate us also. We're just really gonna have fun and then get back to scrims right after, maybe next day. Yeah.
Wow.
You ladies deserve it. Well, we're not going to keep you anymore because you guys have a big celebration waiting for you. So we'll leave you to it. Congratulations once again. And we will see you guys next week.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I knew it. They're just having so much fun. And that was incredible. The fact that that call came in at the very last second. I can almost even imagine it that like an agent selector kind of like, okay, so we're going to do this, right? And suddenly it's like, you know what? Let's not.
Yep. I think that just really that gut feel to stick with what you know is what can separate the good teams from the best teams, and I think that's that's the Bren that showed up in that third map. That's the Bren that showed up today because they won those two series handily and they've cemented their top 4 finish. Whether they can go deeper, that remains to be seen. But the top 4 is looking very, very spicy.
Yes, very spicy indeed. It is going to be Alter Ego Celeste, Extend Sapphire, Zol Meraki, and Bren Victress. 4 very, very powerful teams. And I have to say, Ki, these 4 teams also have their own character. You know, we did
Yes.
mention like Zol Meraki they are the dark horses. Then you have Bren Victress, is very fun, it's very confident team. You have, you know, Extend Sapphire as well as, you know, kind of like on this redemption arc in a way, and you have Alter Ego Celeste needing to stay on that throne, needing to prove to themselves that they do deserve that seat in Berlin.
Yeah, like just to add even more personality to them, if you take a look at the upper bracket, Alter Ego Celeste and X10, neither of them have dropped a map in Elite. So there's the undefeateds, and then in the bottom half of the bracket, Zol and Bren, they fought so hard. They got dropped into a lower bracket from the first map, and now they're in the top 4 still. They went through today. Today was a gauntlet for them. Zol Meraki 6 maps, Bren Victress 5 maps. They're they're the scrappy ones. They're the ones that are really fighting in that lower bracket run, and either of them make it all the way to the grand finals, and that's a really deep lower bracket one for both of them.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody is ever going to be questioning their ability to be able to endure that endurance and that mental fortitude to be able to make it through two very high pressure series. Both of these teams, Zomeraki and Bren Victress, were able to pull through that, and that in itself is a pretty huge feat, I would say. Now, I have a feeling that, as we go into our lower bracket finals and our grand finals into next week, we're gonna be on the edges of our seat a whole lot more. We're gonna be screaming a lot more, because if you think about it, if Zomeraki can evolve from this totally different team yesterday into what they have today, and then seeing Bren Victress as well in different shades, I wonder what we're gonna be seeing next week. Key, do you have any final thoughts as we wrap up the day?
I'm just very happy that we're seeing the teams elevate their gameplay. Like Orangutan, even though they're out, I think that they've improved a lot to be able to get Bren to 3 maps, and that's across all the teams. It's really sad to see 4 teams already get eliminated today. That's half of the cast, but that is the nature of the tournament, and they will have to see whether they can come back next year. But the top 4 teams are looking really strong, and I'm so excited for next week as well. Next week could not come sooner.
I love how you mentioned Cass. That's right. We had W Streak female, we have Rising Hope, and then we had Team SMG and Orangutan female as well. We'll see if they can come back next season. We'll talk to the writers, and maybe there will be space for
Let's
them.
see what
as
the
well.
script says.
Yeah.
Let's see what the book. There's a deeper book.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
what's
yeah.
the next chapter?
We'll go
have to
deeper
see.
into that. But for the meantime, that is it for this week on VCT Game Changers APAC Elite. I'm Mika Favs, and with me is Key. And on behalf of the whole production, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.